Hugoton for your entire day. Hey, a soy latte isn't breakfast. Toaster pastries from a vending machine aren't either. Fluffy scrambled eggs, sizzling sausage, bacon. This is breakfast. And this is what's in Taco John's breakfast burritos, along with nacho cheese and golden potato olays, wrapped up like scrambled sunshine. They're the best breakfast burritos in town. Only at Taco John's.
Taco John's!
For one-stop shopping in Colby, Kansas, don't forget about Colby's Walmart. Walmart in Colby has a great selection of grocery items in the store. From meat to macaroni, they've got it in the grocery department of Walmart. And, of course, all the latest movies on DVD or Blu-ray, as well as your favorite PlayStation or Wii games. Walmart in Colby also has clothes, dog food, and, of course, the pharmacy there to serve you as well. Walmart of Colby, proud to be part of the community and proud to support local high school student-athletes. For all your one-stop shopping, it's Walmart in Colby.
You're listening to the Strut Insurance Services pregame show and the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. With Coach Chris Gardner, here's Chad Jones.
Welcome back to the Strut Insurance Services pregame show. The Eagles on radio here on 100.3 The Ride, joined by the head coach of the Colby Eagles, Chris Gardner, as we get set for tonight's matchup with the Hugoton Eagles. And, Coach, I wasn't at the game last week, but I did get a chance to go back and watch it. And I thought your kids played extremely hard against Scott City. You look at it, really just the turnovers were the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, that's right. After the game Friday, I was a little upset on the line of scrimmage, but going back and watching the film, I thought we did a better job on the line of scrimmage than I thought that night. But yeah, turnovers were key. We gave them short fields most of the first half, and we started the game with turnovers, so we've got to just get that rectified and if we're going to have some advantage at the line of scrimmage, we need to use it and just be able to run the football a little bit.
Yeah, and you guys have ran the football pretty well, really, in the first 2 weeks. I think over 400 yards rushing.
Yeah, we've averaged over 200 yards a game rushing, which is good. And this time last year we hadn't gotten that total yet, not even close to that total. And so, we've improved quite a bit running the football, and we just hope we can get better at that as well.
And that's something that, you look at the positives with this team is that offensive line has been they've done an excellent job, offensively and defensive line. Has been a big improvement this year.
Yeah, they really have. They worked hard in the summer, and this is the second year with them. We started, they were all sophomores last year, and now they're juniors, and they've gotten a little bigger, and there's a senior on there, too, on the offensive front, and with Jay Ziegelmeyer, and then on the defensive front, we've got a freshman last year, Ethan Jay's a sophomore, and they've all just gotten bigger and stronger, and they've done a lot better job of working and communicating with each other.
Speaking of working and communicating, the kids have been impressive with that. In this last week, losses are tough, losing streaks are really tough, and sometimes it's the mental thing of getting over it because physically the kids are getting the work done and know what they need to do. It's just that edge, and this group of kids, I think, has really bought into things, and you saw that in practice this week. We talked about it with some of the things that the kids have done on their own.
Yeah. We did a proactive coaching. We brought them in this summer, and a lot of kids came to it, and that's just a lot about being intentional with your work, being accountable with your work, and these guys have done that. When you're where we're at right now, like you said, with the streak and just trying to get over that hump, you just kind of work your way out of it. And these kids have taken it on themselves. They've done extra practice. We haven't. The coaches haven't, required that of them. This week, Tuesday, we were leaving practice, and they said, we're done. And I was like, what are you guys doing? And we got some extra things to do, Coach. We're going to do some things. You had your practice. Now we need to fix some things that we think, and the leaders of the team have taken it on and done that. And that's just one of those things that if you can get the kids for it to mean something to them and that kind of stuff, you're going to see some gains and you're going to see some differences. And right now that's what we're seeing, and so that's been very positive for us.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that will get a coach fired up about his kids for sure.
That's exactly right. You just think, oh man, you wait for this to happen sometimes, and now when it's happening, you just get real excited for them.
And it's really, a win is going to be so huge for this group of kids because they've worked so hard. They're improving. Their attitude's so much better, and it's one of those. I think that when that first W comes in, there's going to be not only a feeling of elation because of the win, but just what all the hard work is paying off, and I think it'll snowball from there.
That's right. I mean, that's what I think too. Like I said, these kids are working so hard, and once they see a reward from it on the scoreboard, then it's just going to come flowing out, and they have to understand it, and they do understand that this is a process we're trying to dig ourselves out of here, but I think they understand how they want to do this, and so when the reward from that comes, it's going to be just like an outflow of them, and they're going to understand that, oh yeah, as we do this, we're going to get better, we're going to play better, and that kind of stuff, and that's where the first week was so tough because they worked so hard in the 2 weeks leading up to that game in fall camp, and then last week with Scott City, just some turnovers, things, and it snowballed, and Scott City will do that to you. They just need to see a reward from what they're doing.
Well, let's talk about this week. Hugoton makes the wonderful quick trip up here from South America or wherever it is. They got the long trip up here today. A new head coach in Hugoton with some new ideas. They're a little different team than they were last year.
Yeah, they are. Coach Fulton he's been assistant on the staff and does a great job. And he coached at Norton for a while, so you can definitely see a Norton influence in what they're doing this year with their offense, especially. And so, they make the long trip. I watched a high school game on TV last night, and they were talking about, this team's going 4 hours to play this game. And I thought, well, we do that about every other week. But, that trip's going to, obviously, we're glad we're not making it. That's going to take a little toll on them. But they got a nice quarterback. They got a nice tight end on the offensive side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, they've got a pretty good D-line. And they've got some nice linebackers. So, we're going to have to play real physical with them tonight.
And this is a team that's going to throw a little more than we've seen them throw in the past few years.
Yeah, under the other coach, he was from Smith Center, and they ran a lot of that kind of stuff, and the bar to bone, I guess they call it, and he ran that kind of stuff on more option. Now these guys run a little midline option, but yeah, like I said, they got a nice tight end that they like to throw to, and they do throw the ball a little bit more. They threw the ball a lot more against Ulysses than they did against Guyman, so I think they're just trying to develop that passing game, and they'll just get better every week.
So looking at it offensively and defensively, what are the keys for your kids this week?
Well, offensively, we got to make sure we got to limit our mistakes. We got to limit our turnovers and that kind of stuff. We've had 2 weeks, and they've been different kind of turnovers. First week we had a couple fumbles, from effort, and this week, or last week in Scott City, it was more mental, just through some interceptions, we fumbled some snaps, a different kind of thing. So we've got to start fast. That's the one thing with the offense. We got to start fast. We got to get after them, get a long drive, hold on to the ball, that kind of stuff. And defense, it's like everything. We just got to keep them off the field. We got to limit their offense, and when the ball goes in the air, we've got to compete for it and get it, and then we can't allow them to run the ball at all.
Coach, health of your football team through week 3 here.
Yeah, we've got some bumps and bruises. We got some guys, of course, Josh Brown's our biggest injury right now with the knee. We're supposed to hear back today on how that's coming. But the other ones are, we've got some ankles, we've got some shins, that kind of thing. Just some nagging injuries, but they're getting healthy and they're getting better. But as far as 3 weeks into the season, with no real major injuries where no one's lost their whole season, that's pretty good. We just got to get some of those nagging injuries healed up.
Yeah, everybody will be able to play today but Josh.
Right, yeah. So we're hoping to get him back in a week here. So.
All right. Well, Coach, I tell you what, looking forward to the game tonight, and we'll talk to you afterward.
Oh, great. Sounds good, Chad. Always good to talk to you.
Coach Chris Gardner, the Colby Eagles, back with more of the Strut Insurance Services pregame show in just a minute.
When the Strut Insurance Services pregame show continues, Thomas Wheeland will join Chad in the booth for their keys to the game. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
Well, there's a little bit of chill in the air, and they can take that chill off you there at Plum Creek Limited. See the new arrivals they do have for ladies and for men of clothing for fall and winter. Really some good buys right now, too. And, of course, they're marking down the summer rack. So come on in and save at Plum Creek and see the new colors of fall. Kind of about as bright as what the colors will be when it gets here, y'all. The colors of fall found at Plum Creek in downtown Colby. Remember them for a wedding, too. Booking your tuxedos.
Physical ailments and injuries are a red light on the road of life. Tina Harris Physical Therapy can turn those painful red lights green, allowing you to move forward with life. Free screenings for pain and injury, sports medicine, hand therapy, post-surgery therapy, all offered by Tina Harris Physical Therapy. And this is just a small sampling of the services they offer. If it has to do with bringing you back to health and enjoying normal everyday life, chances are Tina Harris Physical Therapy can help. And they work with most insurance companies. Turn painful red lights back to green with Tina Harris Physical Therapy on Franklin in downtown Colby.
Farm Credit Western Kansas and Colby has once again returned $2.5 million of patronage to its members. In just the past 10 years alone, we have put nearly $20 million back into the area economy. At Farm Credit, we are proud to be the area's leading ag lender, taking an active interest in the success of our borrower owners. If you're involved in agriculture and not a Farm Credit member, why not? Call us at 1-800-657-6048 to find out the difference it makes being an owner. Farm Credit Western Kansas, financing ag for generations.
Hello, this is J.L. Evans, President of Western State Bank of Colby. We're a full-service bank with innovative products that you expect from your financial institution. We specialize in excellent customer service and competitive ag, commercial, and home loans. Check us out by calling, stopping by, or I will gladly come to your farm or place of business for your convenience. We're located just southeast of the Colby Walmart, right next door to the utterly delicious yogurt shop. Western State Bank of Colby, with bank locations throughout western Kansas. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Strut Insurance Services pregame show on 100.3 The Ride. It's time for the keys to the game. Here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back to the Strut Insurance Services pregame show. The Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. Thomas Wheeland joins me in the booth as we get set here for Hugoton and Colby. Battle of the Eagles tonight. At home here at Denton Field for Colby, and keys to the ball game tonight. I want to talk about the week, I guess, a little before we get into maybe the keys or the details for the game tonight. This has been a weird week. You look at things normally. Okay, we got a losing streak going, which people are aware of. Got handled by Scott City last week. A lot of it due to turnovers. I think, going back and watching it on the website, I don't think they played that bad. They just turned it over a million times. It's easy for kids to take that and say, and hang their heads and go, okay, woe is me, and but they haven't. And it was a weird, talking to coach this week, the kids have had, and this is coming from the kids, not the coaches. We had 2 players-only meetings this week, and they set some new things up with goals and things that the kids came up with, and they talked about them last night again after practice on their Thursday night deal. It was almost 6:30, 6:45 before they got out of there because they met after practice. But Tuesday night, the coach just said, "We're done practice. I'm leaving the field." Headed back to the locker room, and they said, the kids weren't coming. He tried to say, "What's going on?" He goes, your practice is over, Coach. We have ours now. We have some things that we want to work on to get better, too." And, I know, Thomas, and you've been on the staff in the past, something like that's like, really? That's going to make a coach happy in a heartbeat that the kids want to spend extra time after a hard, because Tuesday practices are usually the toughest practice in a week anyway. That's got to really get a coach fired up, and the kids were out pushing sleds and running and going through plays and trying to work on some extra things to get better, and it's the senior leadership that stepped over. So this has been an interesting week, and coming off of the loss with everything going on, they've taken the complete opposite approach that some groups would.
Yeah, from a coaching standpoint, you can't ask for a better leadership quality than that. I mean, making the kids stay after practice, and you're out there walking through some more stuff. Some guys have been getting on other guys this week, and that's just what you want. You don't want to have to be able to do it because you can't do it out there on the field. You can't be out there on the field with them every play, And having guys out there, it's just like having another coach out there on the field. So that's big for them coming in tonight against a well-coached Hugoton team.
Yeah, and they're holding each other accountable, I think, is the main thing, which is, I know coaches just, we talk about it a little in the pregame today, but, excited to see that, and that's that attitude change that we've been talking about it the last few weeks, and I've noticed it in practice, and I keep saying that, and a lot of people were like, where's the results? But I'm telling you, that kind of stuff will pay off. And that's what he said last night. He said, when he was talking to the kids, Coach said, you know what, we're not going to sit here and talk about Hugoton. We've talked about Hugoton all week. We've gone through everything all week. He just said, what you're doing right now, the stuff that you've done this week, he goes, it's going to start paying off in the wins. And it will. It wasn't, it didn't go into details in the game. Just keep doing this. Keep holding each other accountable. Keep trying to be the best you can be, and you're going to start winning.
Yeah, football's a simple game when you get right down to it. You play assignment sound football, and you do your job. I mean, you've got your stuff you can do, and you think it's better than this guy's stuff. It's basically what it comes down to. You execute offensively, you execute defensively, you hold your assignments, special teams-wise too. I mean, it comes down to it. You do your stuff, you get out-coached by the team, So
yeah, it's going to be fun to see how it plays out this week. I kind of have a good feeling that the time for the street to end, and the kids are going to be ready to go more so than ever before tonight. So I look forward to that as we get started here in a little bit. Hugoton coming in, it's kind of a question mark. We got a new head coach down there this year. He was on their staff in the past, but this has been a team that kind of the old Smith Center, bar to option stuff where we're just going to run and run and run and run and run and run and run. They're not that way anymore. They like to throw the football, especially they got a real big tight end that they like to hit over the middle, and it'll be a different look than what we've seen from Hugoton in the past, and should make for a fun football game. Hugoton's 1-1 on the season. They got a win over Diamond in week number 1, who maybe wasn't the best team in the world, but they were able to take care of it there, and then got handled by Ulysses last week. So both of these teams coming into the game off of very tough losses in the previous week. But that being said, I think at home, with the kids being as fired up as they are, and with Hugoton traveling the distance they're traveling, I think things look good for Colby. The keys really are going to be just taking care of business, as you talked about, assignment sound football, and then keeping the football, not turning it over. That's been the big thing the first 2 weeks for Colby.
Yeah, they've turned the ball over. They put the ball on the ground a lot, and we've had a couple picks offensively. But going back to your point about the new spread stuff that Hugoton's going to do, I mean, Colby's secondaries played great. I mean, last week they gave up a couple passing touchdowns. Just Jeremy Meyer, Jeremy Meyer, the little one, other one playing up here at the college. Anyway, he just goes over top of a smaller kid and uses a 6'4" frame well and the fade in the back of the end zone twice, and you can't doubt him for that. And the one halfback pass we got caught on at Oakley, but other than that, they played great secondary, so that kind of plays into us. And you go look at that Oakley game again, and you see the defensive line, somebody drops back, they're going to pin their ears back and get after it. I mean, they had a few sacks there, had a lot of knockdowns and things like that, hurried the quarterback, just getting pressure on him. Colby should be looking to do that again tonight. Yep,
and that offensive and defensive line has been the biggest improvement from last year to this year.
Absolutely.
By far. I mean, those guys have played extremely well, and the great part about it, too, for Colby fans is that with the exception of one, that whole offensive line are juniors or younger still. I mean, it's a young group that's going to get even better going down the road. So it should be a fun game tonight. Taking care of the football is going to be the big thing for Colby if they can do that and stay assignment sound defensively. I like Colby's chances against Hugoton tonight and get that streak over with and back on their winning ways and see if all that hard work paid off. We'll have kickoff coming up here in just a little bit. You're listening to the Eagles on radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride.
We meet tonight's starting lineups when the Strut Insurance Services pregame show continues. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
The Colby Free Press brings residents of Thomas County news, pictures, and commentary on the happenings, issues, and events that impact the lives of residents of Thomas County. The Colby Free Press is informative and affordable. The Colby Free Press is a local daily newspaper that has earned a great reputation for journalistic excellence and extensive knowledge of the local communities of Colby, Rexford, Brewster, and surrounding communities.
There's nothing like getting your new cell phone, playing with the new features, being amazed at the advancements, until an even newer one comes out. Who wants to wait 2 years to upgrade their phone? Now you don't have to. With the Next Tech Wireless Buyback Program, we'll buy back your cell phone no matter what provider it came from and give you credit, up to $300. It's the Next Tech Wireless Buyback Program. Another great reason you'll love Next Tech Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
This time of the year can get a little stressful on your finances. If you're in the need for any type of loan, come in and talk to their local Gold loan officers at the People's State Bank. They live in this area, so they know this area. They pride themselves on getting you the fastest response possible. Since most of them have been in business or have come off the farm, they really do know the local ag economy. They want to take this time and thank you for your patronage at the People's State Bank with locations in Colby, Oakley, Hoxie, Goodland, and McDonald. The People's State Bank, member FDIC. Let Jay add pride to your ride at Motortown LLC of Colby. Always a fine selection of late model vehicles on the lot, including pickups, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, long box, short box, regular cabs, crew cabs, and many makes and models. You'll find sports cars, convertibles, luxury cars, vans, and of course the popular SUVs. Truly a great inventory to choose from, and as always they're willing to pay you well for your trade. That Motortown LLC located at 1275 West 4th Street in Colby or Ellis, Kansas. Go online to motortownllc.com.
Welcome back. It's time to look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Vernon Hurd, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in downtown Colby. For all of your insurance needs, see Vernon Hurd today. Here's Chad Jones with tonight's starters.
Back to the Stretton Insurance Services pregame show and the Eagles on radio here on 100.3. The Riders will get set for tonight's matchup between the Colby Eagles and the Hugoton Eagles. It's time to take a look at the starting lineup for the two teams. Tonight we'll take a look at the defensive starters for Hugoton and the offensive starters for the Colby Eagles. A little bit different look from Hugoton this year. They have switched to a similar defense to Colby, and that they're running a 5-2 defensive set this year. So a 5 down linemen, the 2 linebackers, 2 cornerbacks, and then 2 defensive backs for Hugoton. Let's take a look at that defensive line. We'll start with Mark Persinger, a 6'1", 215-pound junior. He will be the left defensive end. He wears number 72. Alfredo Luna, a 5'11", 200-pound senior, wears number 54. He'll be the defensive tackle on the left side of the defensive line. The nose tackle is Jack Stalkup. Stalkup, a 5'4", 135-pound sophomore, wearing number 9. Genesis Martinez will be the right defensive tackle. He wears number 59. He's a 5'5", 180-pound senior. And Peyton Cornelson will get the start at the right defensive end. He wears number 18, a 6', 160-pound freshman in the starting lineup tonight for the Hugoton Eagles. The cornerbacks on the left side will be Kellen Watkins. Watkins, a 6', 170-pound senior. He wears number 25. Hunter Kerbo will get the start at the other cornerback position on the right side. He wears number 3. He's a 5'10", 140-pound junior. The 2 linebackers are Noel Camacho, a 5'6", 190-pound junior, wearing number 34. And Michael Baez a 5'8", 175-pound senior. He wears number 5. The safeties are Manny Mendez, a 5'6", 140-pound junior. He'll get the start at the free safety position. He wears number 11. The strong safety, or as Hugoton calls it, the monster position, Ulysses Armendariz will get the start there. He's a 5'6", 130-pound senior, wearing number 14. And that's how the defensive starters look tonight for the Hugoton Eagles. Let's take a look at the offensive set for Colby tonight. Similar to what we've seen all season long, Jay Ziegelmeyer will anchor that offensive line. He is a senior, and he will start at the left tackle position wearing number 50. Bryce Armberger, number 55, will get the start again at left guard for the Eagles. He's a junior. Casey Gugliano will get the start at the center position. He is a junior. He wears number 70. Number 71, Austin Hart, will get the start at the right guard position. He is a junior for the Eagles, and then Brady Slinger will round out that offensive line. He will start at the right tackle position, a junior for the Colby Eagles. Looking at the wide receivers, Alex Young will get the start there, number 32. He's a junior. And Austin Russ will get the start at the other receiver position, another junior for the Colby Eagles. The backfield's been strong this year. The Eagles have averaged over 200 yards rushing per game on the season. In fact, they had over 200 yards rushing against Scott City in that loss last week. Just trying to hang on to the football. That's the key tonight. Backfield for the Eagles. The A-back has been Matchell, a junior for the Eagles, wears number 35, the leading rusher on the season for Colby. Brady Holzmeister will get the start at the B back. He is a junior for the Eagles, wearing number 7. And Matthew Pieper will get the start at the pistol back for Colby. He wears number 30 for the Eagles and is also a junior. And the quarterback for Colby, Josh Matchell, the senior, gets the start again tonight and looking to have a good night running and throwing the football. That is how the starting lineups look for the two teams as we get set for kickoff. That's coming up after word from our sponsors. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride.
This has been the Strut Insurance Services pregame show on 100.3 The Ride. Brought to you by Strut Insurance Services, where they serve the listening area and beyond with their insurance needs. Make sure you strut your stuff. Stay here. Kickoff is next. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
I say you should see what they have by GE just for thee at GWT. Yes, name brand GE appliances on the showroom floor right now at Great Western Tire, Colby. Washer and dryer sets by GE. Refrigerators, ranges, microwaves, and GE dishwashers. Of course, they have installation and delivery available at Great Western Tire of Colby and Great Western Tire of Oakley, your GE appliance dealer.
The High Plains Co-op has always prided itself on their customer service. With the fall harvest upon us, the staff at High Plains Co-op is ready to help you store and market your grain. With elevators in Dresden, Jim, Grainfield, Halford, Hoxie, Levant, Park, and Selden, and their office and filling station in Colby, the High Plains Co-op has a location close to you, which will help keep you in the fields and the combines moving. The High Plains Co-op wishes you a safe and prosperous fall harvest, and they want you to know that their professional staff is ready to help you get the most out of all of your hard work.
It's time for the Eagles on Radio on 100.3 The Ride. Now, with the call of tonight's game, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wieland.
Off tonight. The band is on the field for the pregame. The Eagles are getting ready to make their way onto the field tonight. And kind of a new tradition here. Once a year they're going to do this with the youngsters leading them out on the field. The little kids football team that plays throughout the year. They're going to be here to run the team onto the field. So that's kind of fun. It'll be good for the kids and get them excited about football. We're going to take a break here real quick, and then we'll come back with the kickoff in just a minute. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride.
The Eagles soar back.
Sorry, man, we hit the national anthem.
This.
Quality workmanship and experience are just two of the things you will find when working with Stevens Construction for all your agricultural, commercial, and residential construction needs. They are your local Butler and Lester dealer and are ready to assist you in choosing the steel or wood frame building you have been looking for. They also specialize in overhead door sales and service. Stevens Construction has been in the business for over 40 years, so stop by today and see them on South Country Club Drive in Colby. Since 1994, Office Works and Home Furnishings in Colby has been offering solutions for your home and office needs. And while they still continue to do that, they also specialize in something else: comfort. Office Works and Home Furnishings is a proud retailer of the Serta I Comfort beds with optional adjustable bases. Plus, on top of that, they're the only Lazy Boy Comfort Studio in Northwest Kansas. So if you're looking to make your home more comfortable this year, make sure you stop by Office Works and Home Furnishings on South Range in Colby.
Now, with more of the Eagles on Radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wieland.
Welcome back, Chad Jones alongside Thomas Whelan. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride. As the Eagles, as I mentioned, being led onto the field by the junior football program here in Colby. And exciting for the kids. And Colby making their way through the Spirit line now. Big game for the Eagles tonight, Thomas. This is one that Colby's had an interesting week of practice, and we talked about it in our keys to the game, but the kids seem to have decided that this is time to get things going again, get back in that right direction. They've had some extra time in practices. They've had a couple of players-only meetings this week, and the kids are getting fired up and ready to go. And so it's going to be fun to see how it plays out here tonight, how that translates into the game.
Yeah, they took it upon themselves to get everybody locked in. That's what you want to see from your seniors. Guys like Josh Matchell and your Jay Ziegelmeyers and all those cats that are entering their fourth year in the program. And they've been through this streak for a while, and they're ready to end it.
Streak's at 16 games since Colby last won. In fact, the last game they won was here at Denon Field against the Hugoton Eagles. And that goes back a little ways. Goes back to September the 21st, 2012. Was the last win for Colby, and again, that was against Hugoton here in Colby, and actually the Eagles shut out Hugoton 21-0 in that contest, so they would love to get a similar result here tonight. Captains are making their way out onto the field right now for the two teams. For the Hugoton Eagles tonight, it's Parker Titus, their quarterback, Noel Camacho, one of their other captains tonight. Colby with Eric Schutte, Josh Matchell, Austin Russ, also out there as one of the captains for Colby, and Zeke Baca, the other captain for the Eagles tonight. And they're meeting with the officials right now. Coin toss will take place. We'll find out who's going to get the football to start this game. Official, the White Hat's still going through instructions with the kids. Crowd's starting to pick up a little bit here at Denon Field, and hopefully picks up even more as this game progresses tonight. We'd love to see a nice crowd. These kids deserve it. They've been working hard.
Yeah, the stands have already filled up more than they did last week tonight. These guys are ready to go.
Here's the coin flip. Looks like Hugoton has won the toss. And now they're deciding what to do with it. Beautiful night here. Just a little bit of a wind that's been kind of an issue here coming from the south to north. Hopefully that dies down. Hugoton has won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. Colby has chosen to receive. So that is how we will start the ball game. The Eagles will get the football first tonight here at Denon Field in Colby. Hugoton with a decent crowd making the trip up here today. A little over a 3-hour drive to Colby. Talked to Coach a little bit about that. I said, how do you do that? How do you get your kids ready to go on a long trip like that? And broke it up a little bit. They stopped in Garden City and ate and had a little walkthrough today on the way up, and then finished the trip up here. He got him here late. He said, I want him to get off the bus, get dressed, and go right onto the field with pregame. I don't want him waiting around and for an hour or so. It's kind of a different approach to it.
Yeah, that's a tough thing about when you're coach, you decide, you pick your time to leave that day, and you got a long road trip. You don't want your kids to get there and get relaxed, sitting in the locker room, messing around, not being focused. You want them to just stay locked in the whole trip, the whole way, and get ready to go.
Eagles getting ready to go. Ben Matchell, the deep man for the Eagles. Chevin Martin back deep as well for Colby. The Eagles await the kick from Hugoton. Colby Korf handles the kicking duties for Hugoton. And this is a very short kick that's going to be caught by the up man for Colby, trying to get to the outside and running out of room. Not much on the gain on that one by Tyler Schroeder for the Eagles. So again, the youngster getting in there and returning that one, a sophomore for Colby.
And a great job just trying to get what you can on the short kick and set up your offense in pretty good field position.
Coach Gardner has not been happy with his team's starts on the season. He wants to get them out of the gates a little bit quicker, and it's one of the things he's stressed with the team this week. So we'll see how they do in this first offensive possession. Slot back to the left side, two-back split behind Matchell, who's in the pistol formation, man in motion from left to right. Handoff's going to go on the right side, and this has been Matchell looking for some running room. He gets it out across the 30, gains maybe a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for Colby.
On that last play, Colby lines up, tries to just run an outside zone off the tackle. Ulysses is defensive end, number 67. Raymond Berger does a good job holding up the play for a short gain.
Alex Young split out to the left side, 2 slots on the left as well. Handoff goes up the middle to Pieper, and not a lot for Pieper on the carry. In fact, it was a fake handoff to Pieper. Matchell kept it himself, and he's brought down for a loss of a couple.
And again, that's Berger playing this side of the field, defensive end. He's able to get around number 50, Jay Zickelmeyer. Jay's going to have to realize this guy quicker than him. He's going to have to start setting back in his stance and really try and play that pass rush coming in.
Brings up third down and just over 10 yards to go. Austin Russ wide to the right side. Matchell and Young split to the left side. Josh Matchell throws into the hands of Austin Russ. He can't hang on to it, and it's picked off by Hugoton. Picked off by Hugoton off the drop pass. And Kellen Watkins with the interception is going to take it to the Colby 26-yard line.
A one-man route this side of the field. Matchell's one read. Russ makes a good slant route. Comes inside. Ball hits him in the chest. Ball pops up in the air, and Hugoton Eagles pick it off.
Felt like I was watching the K-State game again. And the same thing happened to them last night. Austin struggled yesterday in practice catching the football. Just normally a lot more sure-handed. Here we go. Hugoton with their first possession of the game under center is their quarterback Parker Titus. He's going to hand it off on the right side to Beza. He is hit and brought down for a loss on the play. There is a penalty flag down in the backfield. Michael Beza, 5'8", 175-pound senior.
Austin Hart does a great job on that play, getting through, using his hands from his defensive tackle position, and makes a stop on Beza, who has an open lane on the outside, but Hart brings him down for a short gain.
Offsides on the Hugoton, legal participation, I should say, on Hugoton. So they're discussing this. They're going to go ahead and take the 5-yard penalty. It was no gain on the play. But again, this deep in the territory, you're going to take that because that's a big one. 15-yarder. And it's going to make it first down and 25. Ball on the Colby 41-yard line. So that's a huge penalty in favor of Colby after giving Hugoton tremendous field position. The Eagles turned it over on their first possession last week against Scott City as well. And that's one of those picks you feel bad for Josh Matchell because he was right on the money with the pass.
Yeah, and this is where the Eagles have been susceptible in the last 2 weeks is, they get a team, in a long yard situation, they pin their ears back, what the defensive line does so well, and they hit him with the screen pass underneath.
One receiver to each side of the field. Titus hands it off, and again, this is Bays on the carry. He is hit and brought down for a loss on the play. Couple of Eagles in there on the stop that time, but good credit to Ben Matchell for finishing things off, and Jay Ziegelmeyer also in there on the initial stop.
Yeah, Matthew Pieper, this side defensive end, is able to use his hands, get upfield, and strings the play out, sheds his blocker, and gets upfield, makes the initial contact, and then Ben Matchell is able to scrape over the top from his middle linebacker position and finish off the play.
Lost another 4 yards on the play. 2nd and 29 now. 2 receivers to each side of the field for Hugoton. And they'll go with a quick wide receiver screen to the outside. It's caught, but well defended by Holzmeister, who makes an immediate stop on Kellen Watkins for a loss of 2. And it's going to bring up third down and forever. Third and, we'll call it 31 yards to go.
And Hugoton just lines up in double formation. They run a slip screen to the far side of the field. The outside receiver comes in. Inside receiver blocks out. Brady Holzmeister makes a great play from his inside safety position and stops it for a loss.
Great open field tackle. 2 receivers to each side. Again, the snap's a little low. They get to it. They fake that wide receiver screen to the other side. They throw down the field. It's tipped and almost caught on the play. Ben Matchell in on the coverage for Colby. Also back in coverage that time for the Eagles was Connor Edmondson, who was batted around but dropped and incomplete, and now 4th and long.
Hugoton runs that same slip screen. They just slip the guy running the pick, running the block, the inside receiver, and he just goes upfield on a fade route. Colby gets caught looking in the backfield and almost comes up with a big play for Hugoton.
Ben Matchell back deep to receive the punt for the Eagles. Ulysses Reyes is the punter for Hugoton. He's standing at the Colby 38-yard line. Snaps a little low. He gets to it. Left-footed kicker gets it away. It's an end-over-end bouncing kick. Ben Matchell says, get away from it. Everybody does, and it's going to be down at the 4-yard line. And that is where Colby's going to start this drive. So great field position for Ulysses winning that battle here, Hugoton winning that battle here early in this game.
Ben just saw something he didn't like about it. The gunners on the outside were coming down, bearing hard on him. Colby didn't get enough of a piece of him on the outside with their corners to slow him down much. So Ben just yelled, poison, poison, poison. That tells everybody get away. is down inside the 5.
So here we go, Eagles with the football. Matchell and the pistol formation, 2 backs in the eye behind him, and then slot back to the right side. Handoff's going to go to the first back through on the left side, and not a lot of running room. We get it out to about the 5-yard line, so maybe yard 2 at the most on the carry. That's Pieper for the Eagles.
Just another zone on the outside of the line. Colby, nothing doing there. You look at Hugoton's defensive line so far is playing really low for the Eagles.
Snap, here's the handoff, second back through on the right side this time, and Matchell again, no running room. The defensive line from Hugoton is doing a tremendous job in the early going of this game.
They're firing out low, using their hands, everything you teach a defensive line to do, but they're also getting really good penetration, and Colby's got to start taking it to them here and driving that line back, get lower than they are.
Eagles will send one receiver wide to the left side. Wingbacks to both sides for Colby. Man in motion, handoff right up the middle for Colby, and then breaking it to the left side, jumping over a defender and picking up the first down on the carry. Gain of about 10 yards on the play, and a tremendous run there, and I believe that was Holzmeister.
Colby comes with a setup and a pistol double wing. They take the run up the middle with Pieper, the pistol back, start running an option with Matchell this side, counter with Brady Holzmeister going away from up to the far side of the field. Makes a good run and picks up the first down for the Eagles.
Holzmeister in the slot to the wing spot to the right side. Handoff's going to go right up the middle this time, cutting to the right side and powering forward is Pieper on the carry. And he's going to get a nice gain on the play of about 4 yards here on first down, bring up 2nd and 6.
And after the first 2 weeks, that's what you want to see from your running backs. Matthew Pieper busting through that line, both hands on the football, making sure he doesn't fumble it, and keeping the drive alive.
Man in motion. Handoff's going to go on the right side. Matchell was the wingback coming from left to right. He gets to the corner, and he's going to get enough for a first down as he's across the 30 and out to about the 32 where they're going to spot it. So gain of 10 on the play. And the first down for Colby. The Eagles finding some success to the outside.
Yes, Ben makes a great run to the outside, getting what he can. Just picks up a huge block from Brady Holzmeister playing this wing back to this side of the field. He's able to get upfield and set an edge so Ben can get a first down.
Holzmeister in the wing to the left. 2 back split behind Ben Matchell. Holzmeister in motion from left to right. Handoff up the middle, and this is Pieper on the carry. Takes it out to the left side. He's going to get it across the 35-yard line where he's brought down. That's a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 2nd and 7.
And Colby motions Holzmeister to this side, across the line of scrimmage, from wing to wing, and then end up running him back at the snap and run a trap play with him. And Pieper's able to pick up 4.
Matchell gets the snap, hands it off on the right side. This is Ben Matchell looking for the corner, makes a nice little cut-up move, good stiff arm, and he's going to be drug out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And the 41 is where they're going to spot this. It's going to be short of the first down, I believe, but not by much. And it may depend on the spot here.
And a great job by Ben to keep his legs going, double his feet on contact, and gain something.
Oh, they've given Colby the first down.
That carry by Matchell is good for another Colby.
Looked like he might have been a little bit short, but they're saying move the chains, and that the Eagles will wait here. 1st and 10 to go. They still have 3rd down on the yard marker. Holzmeister in motion, and it's a little delay handoff. He gets it on the right side, pounds it up the middle across the 45 and near midfield. Good blocking by Ben Matzel, and the lead backs coming through there, and another nice run for Colby, and they really picked up some momentum on this drive. 5-yard gain.
Colby lines up in that pistol double wing again. This time they run that same side counter that we're used to seeing Ben Matchell run a lot, and Colby runs with the Holzmeister for the first time in tonight's game.
Holzmeister in motion from right to left. Here's the handoff up the middle. Pieper looking for a hole, tries to go to the left side. He is hit and brought down. Maybe a yard on the carry, not a lot. It'll bring up 3rd down for Colby and about 4 to go.
And here's where Coach Sims likes to go with an option play. Get 3rd and 4. He likes to see what the defense is going to do. Let them make a mistake and put the ball in your quarterback's hands and let him
Play in for the Eagles. They check their wristbands. Ben Matchell wide to the left side for the Eagles. Alex Young also split out to the left. Holzmeister in motion from right to left. And that one a little bit. Now that one it's incomplete because it was thrown forward by Ben Matchell, but I don't know if that was intended or by Josh Matchell, I should say, in the pass. I don't know if it was intended for Ben Matchell or for Holzmeister, but nobody home on that one, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 3 for the Eagles in a big play here.
It looked like the Eagles were trying to run a receiver screen out there. They had Austin Russ on the outside, run up there to make a block. Ben turned to catch it like he's going to run a slip screen. Brady comes from the backfield out the block.
3 receivers to the left side. Josh Matchell going to roll to his left, fires down the field, and it is incomplete, overthrown, intended for Holzmeister. Matchell hit at the end of the play, and it'll give Hugoton the football in Colby territory for the second time tonight. Colby was able to take care of business on that opening drive. Hugoton hurt themselves with a 15-yard illegal participation penalty.
And Hugoton is able to get good pressure on Matchell. He has to roll to his left where he's got trips receivers at, tries to hit Holzmeister. He just has to turn his body. It's a tough throw for a right-handed quarterback throwing across himself.
2 receivers to the right side, I formation with the quarterback, Parker Titus under center. Gets the snap, hands off to the second back there. It's a fake, wants to throw, and he is hit and sacked. And now he threw it late here, and let's wait. Throw the flag. There it is. That is intentional grounding. Parker Titus threw that one as he was going down and just trying to throw it away as he was being tackled.
A great play by Matthew Pieper. He's able to use his hands, get outside. Once Titus breaks out and comes towards him, he uses his hands, gets away, and is able to make a play on the ball.
Now the problem with that play for Hugoton, and the good thing for Colby, is not only is it a 5-yard penalty or spot foul, but it's a loss of down. So it's now 2nd down and 16 to go for the Hugoton. They need to get to the Colby 39-yard line. They are on their own 46. Twins to the left side, I formation, hand off to the second back through, and no running room again. Great defensive play for the Eagles. Ulysses Armendariz on the carry that time, met by a host of Eagles, and the first man there for Colby was Ben Matchell.
Ben Matchell does a great job stretching over the top from his middle linebacker position again. Brady Holzmeister comes in on it. But Eric Schutte, who just came into play for Matthew Pieper to get him a little blow after that sack, is able to stand up the tight end on that play and able to push him back and opens up the hole for Matchell and Holzmeister.
Good, and Hager and Armendariz to the right side for Ulysses. They'll go, or for Hugoton, they'll go to Armendariz. He gets away from the first defender, but brought down by the second one right at midfield. And that's a short gain on the play. Austin Russ on the tackle. And it's going to bring up 4th and 11 for the Hugoton Eagles, just shy of midfield.
Hugoton runs a bubble screen to the far side of the field. 2 receivers, they run to the trip side. The middle receiver runs the bubble. They're able to crack out with the inside receiver and man-on-man blocking with the outside. Luckily, Colby has a secondary slice of the football, stops him for a short gain.
No score, 3:37 to go here in the opening quarter of play. Twins to both sides, offsides on the offensive line for the Hugoton Eagles. The left guard, Brian Flores, moved early that time. They were going to go for it on 4th and 11, and now the punting unit has made their way to the field as they will march off 5 more yards. And I imagine coach for the Hugoton Eagles, Todd Fulton, not a happy camper. The penalties early by his team.
44 comes in the return punt here, and don't know if Colby's going after it with Matchell. Looks like Tanner Elias.
Yep, Tanner Elias is back deep. The snap is low and rolls. Colby was going after it. They did get it away. Elias going to clear away from this one. And it'll bounce and die at about the 21-yard line. Good field position. Better field position to start for Colby on this possession. If you remember, they started the last one on the 4-yard line. They did put together a nice drive, but weren't able to finish it. Let's see what they can get going here on this one. They did a lot better job running to the outside on that last possession.
Yeah, and they got away from all the zones and just the zone blocking scheme. They ran a trap last play. They ran a lot of counter. Let's see if the misdirection will keep working for the Eagles.
And a little delay play in there with Holzmeister in motion, stopping and then going forward. Austin Russ wide to the right side. Eagles with a tight end to the left. Matchell going to go under center this time. That's unusual. Quick handoff right up the middle to Pieper. He is hit at the line and brought down after a short gain of a yard on the play. 2nd and 9.
This little dive play to Pieper up the middle. There isn't much going for him. Casey Quigliano, Brady Slinger, Bryce Armour, your interior 3 guys on your offensive line have their night cut out for him. It's Hugoton.
Matchell under center again. Again, the eye behind him. Quick pitch on the left side to Ben Matchell. Ben makes a great cut. Evades 2 tacklers. Breaks the 3rd tackle. Kicks to the outside. What a run. Ben Matchell with a nice run. He's going to get it across the 35 to the 37-yard line. That's a gain of about 10 yards on the play and a first down for the Eagles. Penalty flag is down on the play. Down the field, though, at about the 35-yard line. It is holding against the Eagles.
It looked like they threw it on Austin Russ, number 80, the wide receiver for the Eagles. Downfield looks like he's making a great block from here, but he gets called for holding. After a great run by Ben, picking up some big blocks, making a big move. Number 14 for the Hugoton Eagles, free safety Ulysses
Armendariz,
Armendariz comes down, makes a great play, but Ben just makes a great move on him.
Now, the holding happened 12 yards down the field, so he still gained 2 yards on that play. It's 2nd down and 6 to go for Colby. Matchell in motion from left to right. Handoff's going to go up the middle. It's a fake. Ben Matchell to the outside, has room. Down the sideline, another penalty flag has been thrown way late on that play. But again, in the backfield, as Matchell got around the corner and near midfield, but this one could be much more costly for the Eagles. And again, I think it's going to be on Austin Russ.
And Josh Matchell makes a great fake, great mesh point on that option play. Everybody thinks that Pieper has it, dives in the middle, pulls it out, runs around the outside, picks up a big gain. Unfortunately, it's coming back.
Yeah, and this one, unfortunately, happened just a yard or so down the field. Coach Gardner not very happy with the call, trying to discuss it with the official. And now talking to his kids. It's going to be, again, very costly for the Eagles, as they'll mark this one back, and it's going to bring up, instead of 2nd down and 4, well, again, that's 2 plays in a row. We had a 1st and 10. And now you're looking at 2nd and 15.
2nd down.
Austin Russ wide to the right side. Holzmeister in the slot, or the wing to the right. Ben Matchell in motion from left to right into the other wing. Handoff's going to go to Pieper up the middle on the right side of tackle, and he gets forward for a yard or 2 on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 11 now.
And you see Josh Matchell moving his hands on that play after the play, looking over at Coach Sims. Something didn't go right as a read option on that one to Pieper. And Matchell didn't like to read. He just gave it.
Eagles will get set again. This time we're going to send Alex Young wide to the left side. Wingbacks to both sides. Ben Matchell in motion. They fake the handoff up the middle, hand it to Holzmeister. Going around the left side. He spins away from one tackler and then another one, but is brought down at the 20-yard line after a gain of just 2. And the Eagles are going to be forced to punt here.
Hugoton does a great job of stringing that play out, not letting anybody get outside of them. Keeping contained the whole play. Brady makes a great job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Breaks a couple, 2, 3 tackles, and they will get the Eagles back to the line.
That's a frustrating drive for Colby because they moved the ball actually pretty well. With the penalties were atrocious. Here's the snap. Matchell the punt. Penalty flag down. There was movement on the line of scrimmage prior to the snap, and that's going to cost Colby another 5 yards. So we have 3 penalties on that drive?
3 penalties, yeah.
Minute 20 to go here in the opening quarter. We have no score.
1 holding penalty is usually a drive killer, let alone you have 2 back-to-back.
And you overcame the first one, which is frustrating. You overcome it and then you to do it again. Here's a line drive end over end kick that's going to bounce at the 40, roll across midfield into Hugoton territory. That thing's still rolling. It's going to be down at the 41-yard line, so pretty good punt there by Matchell. About a 45-yard punt. Hugoton will take over 1st and 10 here at their own 41-yard line. And believe it or not, this is the worst field position they've had to start a drive in the game. 1 minute, 6 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 2 receivers to the left side and 2 to the right for Hugoton. They'll go to the shotgun now with Parker Titus awaiting the snap. Gets it. Again, a little screen pass on the outside. This one open for a big gainer As on the reception was Michael Baez, and he's going to be brought down across midfield into Colby territory. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. Gain of about 18.
Baez, just lines up to the right side of the quarterback on the doubles formation, runs a little swing route. Parker Titus hits him. He's able to get a first down.
Double twins again. Baez the handoff up the middle this time, and he is brought down immediately at the line of scrimmage. Gain of a yard, maybe 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8, we'll call it. And Hugoton going into a hurry-up offense here. 2 receivers to each side. Titus gets the snap already, looking to his left side. Nowhere to throw. Now he's going to run with it. Tucks the ball, trying to get to the corner. Good block downfield on the play by Hugoton. A penalty flag has come in on the play. And the gain is going to be short of a first down to the 30 or to the 28-yard line, but we'll see what the flag is. It was a pretty good block down the field, though, by Hugoton that time, and Ulysses Armendariz. Unfortunately, it was in the back of the Colby player, or fortunately, I should say, for Colby, because that's going to cost him yardage on that one.
On that play in double formation, the inside receiver for Hugoton trying to run a double move, a hitch and go up the field. The outside guy just running slants. This side of the field, Parker Titus wasn't able to get to anybody because his receivers ran into each other. Far side of the field, Colby's got good coverage and just not able to connect, forces him outside the pocket. Colby doesn't scrape over the top. Linebackers are out.
So 2nd down and 13 after the penalty. Twins to each side, low snap, but Titus is able to get it, tries to fire on the left side, looking for Manny Mendoza, but it's off the mark and incomplete. Holzmeister on the coverage for Colby.
On that time, just a basic play out of doubles. For the Hugoton Eagles, an inside receiver running a speed out, outside receiver running a fade down the sideline. Titus isn't able to hit anybody.
Zach Lininger coming in for Hugoton. They like to throw to this kid. He's a big kid, 6'2", 185, and just a sophomore. He wears number 15. He'll line up as a tight end, and he will be on the left side. Trips to the right side. Snaps a little low. Colby pressuring. Titus on the run and just flings it up the field as he gets hammered in the backfield. Good job by the Eagles again, getting pressure on him. The pass incomplete, underthrown, and it brings up 4th down for Hugoton. Parker Titus gets up. He's hurting a little bit. He's been hit tonight.
Bryce Armiger makes a great play on it. Bryce Armiger's there, makes the contact on the quarterback, but Austin Hart's there as well. And Hugoton just runs 3 deep routes and really a 4-2. The shortest route on the field was just a 10-yard out.
Ulysses Reyes, the punter for Hugoton, standing at their own 45-yard line. Low, wobbly kick that's going to bounce and roll out of bounds right at the 10-yard line, maybe the 11. So Colby will start the drive there when the 2nd quarter begins, as that brings us to the end of the opening quarter. After 1, no score. 2nd quarter coming up after this word from our sponsors. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby Football on 100.3 The Ride.
The Eagles soar back to your radio after this.
Get the most out of every acre with Case IH Patriot Series sprayers from Colby Ag Center in Colby, Kansas. These sprayers help you be ready with a distinct design that delivers proven, efficient performance even in the narrowest of application windows. And available technologies like the AIM Command spray system ensures maximum control with optimized coverage and minimal drift regardless of conditions. Come experience the spacious Surveyor cab and the rest of the Case IH Patriot Series sprayer features today at Colby Ag Center.
If you're in the market for a new truck, make sure your first stop is Colby Dodge. Take advantage of 0% financing up to 72 months on new 2014 Ram 1500s with approved credit. Needing a bigger truck? Take all the rebates on a Ram 3500 and receive a discount up to $11,000 off MSRP, stock number T4320. Visit us in person at exit 53 I-70, Colby, Kansas, or online at colbydodge.com. Your number 1 Chrysler dealer in western Kansas and eastern Colorado.
Now, with more of the Eagles on Radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back, Chad Jones alongside Thomas Wheeland. Ready to start the 2nd quarter. Colby will start 1st and 10 from the 10, their own 10. Wings to both sides. And in motion from left to right. Handoff's going to go right up the middle. Pieper looking for some running room as he cuts it to the right side and gets it out across the 15 to the 17-yard line, and a nice gain on the play.
The right side of Colby's offensive line does a great job getting out in front of the ball carrier, getting upfield, getting to the second level, and getting blocks that time. And Pieper's able, from his pistol back position, which is basically just a fullback position and double wing, picking up 8 yards on the play.
Eagles will get set to go again. Tanner Elias was in the backfield on that last play, and he's in there again. Handoff goes to Holzmeister coming across from left to right. Gets to the outside and then just pounds his way forward and gets it across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Excuse me, to the 20-yard line. And this is very close to a first down. He might be a nose short. Maybe the White have to look at it. He gave us a first down like this earlier. This one appears to be a bit short. Third and about 6 inches to go for Colby. Matchell will line up under center. Tanner Elias will line up as the tailback, and it's just a quarterback keeper, and Josh Matchell pounds his way right up the middle, kind of to the left side of the center that time, and Bryce Arnberger does a good job of pushing his man back and allowing a 6-yard gain on a quarterback sneak.
Great job from my up front guys on your offensive line, just able to dig down, get lower, and the defensive line drive them back, use their leverage, and pick up the first down.
Eagles will send Austin Russ wide to the right side, along with Holzmeister, one receiver to the left side, and Alex Young. Matchell gets the snap, hand off to the one back in the backfield, and the timing was a little bit off on that one. Pieper got to the line of scrimmage and picked up a half a yard, like a second down and 9, but again, the timing was a little off on that. It might have been a bigger play.
Right, and that's that mesh we've been talking about. But that one, the reason why it was slow is the snaps over to the left to Josh. Josh has to grab it, bring it back in, and hand it to Pieper.
Double wing again. Holzmeister goes in motion. Here's the handoff up the middle. And a good cut initially by Pieper there. He's going to get forward for a couple of yards on the play. Third down and 7 to go, though, for the Eagles.
And a great job by Colin Gugelman, who's in there right now at left tackle for the Eagles, usually a reserve guy. He had a great summer and he's earned some snaps here this season, getting upfield, getting to the second level, and making a big block.
Colby with twins to the left. Ben Matchell goes in motion to the right side. It's an option play. Josh cuts it up the field, has a hold, gets away from the defenders, and he's loose. Matchell at the 40, the 30, the 20. He's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Colby. Josh Matchell takes that one 71 yards, and the Eagles are on the board with 9:29 to go in the opening quarter.
A great option play by Josh. He gets Coach Sims calls an option to the far side of the field, but it's a G option, which means the play side guard pulls Austin Hart, the play side guard pulls, Austin Hart's the play side guard. He pulls, he gets out in front, makes a big block. Josh gets through, makes a great move to get through 2 defenders and busts a huge run for a touchdown.
We'll get set for the extra point opportunity here. Isaac Nichols to kick it for Colby. Nichols, this is what he does. He just kicks for Colby. He's done a good job on the season. Hit a 26-yarder in week 1, and this kick is a no-doubter right through the uprights, plenty of distance, and the Eagles lead this game 7-0 with 9:29 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a break, back with more of the Eagles on radio and Colby football after this word from our sponsors at 100.3 The Ride.
The Eagles soar back to your radio after this.
Count on Kansas Quick Lube every time you come in. We change your oil, check your tires, wipers and bulbs, everything your owner's manual recommends. We got expert technicians who all know how. People keep their cars much longer now, so maintenance is a much bigger deal. So let us take care of your automobile. Count on Kansas Quick Lube. Our name says it, oil.
This is Tom Harrison, Homeland Realty and Auction. If you are looking for a home, check out our listings. We offer commercial property, residential listings, and of course land. Now, if you're looking to sell, there's never been a better time. Our properties are advertised on the web, homelandre.com, newspapers, and on Facebook. Stop by and see us at our offices in Goodland at 1112 Main and in Colby at 1055 South Range. Let us go to work for you. Homeland Realty and Auction.
Now, with more of the Eagles on Radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back. 9:29 to go. Second quarter. Colby on the board. They lead 7-0. Kick on the way. A short line drive hopper going to be picked up by one of the upmen for Hugoton, and he is drilled as he gets it to the 40-yard line and then takes it out to the 45 and really just kind of held up by some of his teammates on the play. Nice pop by Colby. The return pulled in that time again by one of the upmen, Pedro Ordonez.
And that time Colby goes with a different kicker. Austin Hart comes in, tries an angle split kick that he did all last year for the Eagles. Colby isn't able to recover it. Hugoton picks it up and brings it out to the 45.
First and 10 to go. Hugoton with the football, trying to get something going offensively. Parker Titus, pitch out on the left side into the hands of Beza. He gets around the corner, makes a nice cut. He's going to pick up about 7 yards on first down. 2nd and 3 into Colby territory at the 47.
And Hugoton comes out with an unbalanced formation. Colby doesn't shift over, bounce one guy over for it. Hugoton gets numbers on the far side of the field and pick up a big gain.
2nd down, we'll call it. 2 to go. So an 8-yard gain on first down. We'll send one receiver to the left side. On the slot to the right. Offset I formation, Titus under center. Hand off Beza, right side, hit. He's going to get the first down as he gets it just to the 45-yard line. A 2-yard gain, but that should be enough. It'll bring up 1st and 10 to go for Hugoton.
Hugoton runs to the flat side of the field, the near side of the field for us. Colby's defensive line does a great job of pushing back the offensive line, gets good penetration, just isn't quite able to bring him down. He ends up falling forward for a first down.
Hugoton set to go again, one receiver to the right side, and Brayley Herman. The handoff's going to go up the middle, and nothing. I mean, immediate stop by Colby. You can see the Eagles, there's players flying all over the place.
Yeah, and they're ready to go tonight. They've got a 7-0 lead. This is the first lead they've had in 2 weeks. Yep.
The carry that time was Noel Camacho. His helmet came off on the play, so he has to go out for at least the play. Ulysses Reyes in his place. Pro set this time, I formation. Parker Titus was back to pass, had nowhere to go, and he made a great effort that time to just take it himself on the left side, dove forward, stretched the ball out, and got a yard. Kind of dangerous, though, on that. That's how you get turnovers when you extend that ball like that. Ray Slinger gets up. He's limping a little bit on that right side. He stays in the game for Colby. We'll keep an eye on that. 3rd down, 10 to go for Hugoton.
And Colby does a great job on the back end. They release 3 guys. Colby has them all covered. Parker Titus has to try and make a play with his legs and isn't able to do it.
Titus to throw again, looking deep down the field, and this one is overthrown, incomplete. Great coverage, though, step for step with the intended receiver that time was Austin Russ. The pass trying to go to Ulysses Armendariz.
Armendariz with a fade route down the sideline, doesn't quite push the sideline as much as you'd like a receiver to do, but Russ is right there with him step for step on a great coverage play, and the ball's overthrown.
4th down and 10 to go. In a punting situation again for Ulysses, or for Hugoton. Ulysses Reyes is the punter. I'll get it. Snaps off the mark. Colby did not rush this time, and Reyes gets the punt away, and that is trouble. That may have hit Austin Russ. The officials are going to discuss this. I don't know if it did or not. Colby's offense is coming onto the field.
Well, either way, it's too close for that to happen.
Yeah, you got to get away from it, and that's the deep man got to tell him.
Yeah, your return man, Ben Matchell's got to be back there saying poison, 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 Peter, 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 whatever your verbiage is. He's got to be yelling that, screaming it, because Russ is out there playing corner. He's trying to shed the gunner from making a play on the ball, making a tackle on your return man.
He's
not watching
he can't
the ball.
see it. Yeah, he's got his back to it. Fortunately, it hit the Hugoton player first, so it was down. Here we go. Colby ready to go again. One receiver wide to the left side, and Alex Young. Josh Matchell in the pistol, handoff on the left side. Good block up in front of the runner that time, and Matthew Pieper, and he's going to get it out to about the 17-yard line, give him 3 yards. Give him 4 on first down there. It'll bring us 2nd and 6.
Pieper picks up a big block from Jay Zugelmeyer, Bryce Armberger, the left side of the line, able to wash down the defensive line of the Hugoton Eagles and give them some room to run.
Colby set to go again. Holzmeister in motion. Handoff Pieper up the middle, just on the left side of center. And a good second effort, and Pieper may have the first down. He is very close to the 30, or the 25, I should say, which is what they needed. It looked like he was going to go down about 3 yards further back, and then he just kind of made a little surge there at the end. And close enough that they're going to bring the chains out. I think he's got it.
The thing about Matthew Pieper is he's one of those kids that just always has his feet turning. He runs high, not pad level, but his knees high. He keeps turning over. That's why Pieper, most of the time, he'll fall forward for that first down if it's close.
Oh, I was wrong. He's short by about 3 inches. 2 links on the old chain there. So they'll bring the chains back over to the sideline, and now let's see if Colby can pick up a 3rd and short here. The last time on 3rd and short, similar situation, Colby went with that quarterback sneak, and Ben Matchell went just to the left of center and was able to pick up a big gain on the play. That's he got 6 yards. We'll take 4 inches here, Thomas. Don't need much, just want that first down. They get the ball set and ready for play. Josh this time going to go to the right side of center, and he's not going to get 6 yards this time, but he's going to get 3, which is more than enough. First down, Colby.
And Josh, noticing that they plugged the A gap with the middle linebacker on that play, he bounces over to the B gap or the 4-hole, whatever you want to call it offensively, and he's able to pick up the first down on the quarterback sneak.
6 minutes, 1 second to go. Second quarter, Colby leads 7-0. Austin Russ split out wide to the right for Colby. Double wing, Ben Matchell in motion. He'll get the handoff going to the right side. Cuts it upfield, gets past the defenders, and he's drugged down from behind. They got a hold of his shirt, and he's finally brought down across the 45. They'll spot it at the 47-yard line, and that's a gain of about 15 for the Eagles in the first down.
And the Eagles go with the G sweep on that play out of the pistol double wing formation. Austin Hart again, the right side guard, gets out in front, makes a big block for Ben, and is able to get up for a big play and a first down for the Eagles.
Ben getting a break here now as he comes to the sideline. And we have a whistle, and what do we have? An official timeout. And Colby had already snapped the football, so I'm curious to see if they don't maybe change the play here now. They're not going to. They're going to go with it. Twins to the left side for Colby. Single wing in motion is Holzmeister, and he will get the carry to the left side, trying to get to the corner. Cuts it up the field. Penalty flags are down, 2 of them, as Holzmeister gets it across midfield to the 48-yard line, but this one may be coming back. 2 different penalty flags are down, one in the backfield and one on the sideline, but could be the same call here. Holding against the Eagles, and that is it. So they both saw the same thing. And this is the 3rd holding penalty for the game already on Colby. And again, moving the football, things are going well. And then you get a 10-yard penalty. And not only do you get a 10-yard penalty, but you get a 10-yard penalty that happens from the spot of the foul, which was 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So now it's 1st and 22 to go instead of 2nd and 5. So again, these penalties have been horrific for the Eagles today. Double wing pistol. Josh Matchell gets the snap, back to pass this time, and they set up a little screen to the left side. This is Holzmeister. He breaks the tackle, gets away from another defender, and dives forward across the 40 to the 44-yard line, and picks up a nice gain on the play. And really, if he were able to keep his feet, he was just barely nicked on that one. He might have been...
Yeah, he had a lot of open field in front of him. Brady, he runs, picks up an 8-yard gain, but he probably runs the ball for 20 yards. Yeah. Just a slow developing play, a screen route in the backfield. Elias runs out to the far side of the field, hand up, waving around.
Here's the snap. Handoff, a fake. Josh Matchell keeps it himself, makes a couple of great cuts, and he's going to end up getting about 6 yards on that play when it looked like he was going to be stopped for a loss.
Josh does a great job seeing that Hugoton plays the option, going for him on the outside, where Josh has had a lot of success tonight, and he cuts it that back end, turns on a dime, and picks up 4 yards.
3rd and 7. And Colby's done a good job of chipping into that big deficit after that 1st and 22 we had. One man in motion. Hand off on a little reverse play. And Holzmeister not going to get much. He's going to get maybe a yard, but it's going to bring up 4th and 6 for Colby. It's kind of just an end around more than it is a reverse. Yeah, Holzmeister in the slot coming across, but they fake it up the middle.
Yeah, Holzmeister comes around. He ends up running into his guard, Brady Slinger, who had just pushed the kid down the line. Goes to turn around. Holzmeister and him collide. That slows the play down for a gain of 1.
Bryn Matchell back in punting formation for Colby. Manuel Mendez and Ulysses Armendariz back deep for Hugoton. Bryn Matchell gets the punt away. Line drive going to bounce and roll, and going to be down at about the 16-yard line. That's where Hugoton will start this drive. 3 minutes, 13 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Colby leading the game 7-0. The defense for the Eagles has been phenomenal today.
They've really showed up here tonight big for themselves, and that defensive line right now is really taking it to the Hugoton Eagles so far. They're able to get good penetration, using their hands really well, shooting gaps, firing through, going out low.
Parker Titus under center. Has a man in motion from left to right, and they'll do a little end around, and that pitch is out there, and this is going to be a big loss of about 4 on the play as they pitched it to Ulysses Armendariz, who was lined up as a wide receiver to the right side, comes all the way across the formation and is brought down for a 2-yard loss.
Hugoton tries going with a little trick play, trying to give him a little room on the down by their own end zone, but isn't able to get any room. Soft play for a loss. Good play by the Eagles.
High formation this time. Handoff second back through, and this is Michael Baez on the carry. He's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe another yard on top of that. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Hugoton Eagles.
Hugoton runs a little off tackle play to the far side of the field. Baez lowers his head down, runs really low through the line. Just isn't able to get anywhere stopped by the Eagles for a short gain.
3rd down. There's a long to go for Hugoton. Wade Hager split wide to the right side. One receiver to the left side. Titus under center. Fakes a handoff, keeps it himself. And hello, Mr. Titus. He is hit by Austin Hart and driven to the ground. Austin there immediately on the play. Tremendous stop for Colby. And it brings up 4th down and long, and the Eagles will get another opportunity here before half. Surprised we don't take a timeout here with 1:50 to go. In fact, we do. 1 minute 50 seconds to go in the half. Colby up 7-0. Hugoton will punt when we return. You're listening to the Eagles on radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride. Still water. I can't hear, guys. Yeah, we'll keep it here. 1 minute 50 seconds to go in the half. It is Colby leading Hugoton by a score of 7-0.
Austin Hart on that last play. Hugoton runs dive option. Titus pulls it, runs through the line, and just meets Austin Hart, and Hart just drives him into the backfield and dumps him. Great play by Hart. Way to run your feet, double your feet on contact, hit him low, drive him back.
Colby will get set to receive the punt. Tanner Elias is back deep at about the 41. They're trying to save Ben Matz a little bit. He's had some shin splints and ankle injuries, and this one is the punter was hit on this one, but the ball was tipped by Colby. It's going to bounce and go out of bounds, and the Eagles are going to start at we'll see where they mark it here, 29-yard line. So you got a punt that went about 12 yards as Colby went after the punter that time, and may have got it. In fact, they did get a piece of that punt. Knocked it straight up, and then they were able to hit the punter. You can hit. If you block the ball, if you get a piece of it, you can hit him.
Yeah, it's just like on a receiver. The ball gets tipped. You can go deck him if you're a defensive back. It's legal.
And you should. First and 10 to go for Colby. They'll start this drive again at their own, or at the Hugoton 29-yard line. Austin runs to the right side. Two receivers to the left side for Colby. Josh Matchell in the pistol. Hands it off to Pieper right up the middle. Pieper across the 25 to the 24. Gain of 4 on the play. Second and 6 for Colby. Minute 35 to go.
And here's where Colby, you practice rocket O all the time. This is the situation. I mean, usually you're trying to drive the length of the field. All you got is 29 yards to go. Still got to have some urgency, but you want to punch in the end zone here before half.
Colby does still have 2 timeouts remaining as well. Josh Matchell in the pistol. Then Matchell in motion. They'll hand it off to him going to the right side. Waits for his blockers. Now gets to the corner. At the 20, the 15. On his feet at the 10. Dives for the end zone, and he is short. Short of the touchdown, but a tremendous run by Ben Matchell, and the Eagles are going to have first and goal to go.
And he gets tucked in back there on the outside. Ben Matchell does behind big Austin Hart, and Bryce Armstrong are pulling guard from the opposite side of the line of scrimmage. But he just picks up some big yards, follows some huge blocks, and almost gets into the end zone on that play.
First and goal to go. Ball at about the 4-yard line. Josh Matchell going to go under center this time with an offset eye behind him. Hand off to the second back through. This is Ben Matchell on the left side. Dives forward, and he is short, but not by much. So Ben Matchell on the carry again. That previous play, though, Thomas, going back to that, on that big gain by Ben Matchell. What patience he showed waiting for the blockers to get out there in front of him before he cut it off. Here we go. Eagles trying to get a quick snap off, and Hugoton takes the timeout before that play goes. It would have been a touchdown by Colby. Ben Matchell would have gotten in easy, or Josh Matchell would have gotten in easily on that play, but timeout taken by Hugoton, and so Colby will have to wait here. They'll have second down and goal to go from just inside the 1-yard line. We're down to 44 seconds remaining here in the opening half of play, and a tremendous first half for Colby. Really, you look at this, Thomas, they've dominated things on the defensive side from start to finish tonight. Offensively, they've done an excellent job too, but the penalties have kept them out of the end zone. They've had 2 drives killed by penalties today when they were moving the football well.
Right, they've shot themselves in the foot offensively. But right here on the goal line stance as the Eagles come back out to the field, you can't go back to the quarterback sneak unless you just flat out think that there's no way they can stop it. I mean, they were thinking, that they had to be thinking it, and then you run it the last play before it gets dead. We'll see what the Eagles go with here.
Matchell under center. It is a sneak to the right side. Touchdown, Colby. Josh Matchell takes it in on the right side. He kind of pulled it instead of going straight up the middle. Kicked to the outside, got around Austin Hart, and Brady Slinger went right between them into the end zone. 2-yard touchdown run. The Eagles on top, 13-0. That comes with 39 seconds remaining here in the opening half.
And Josh pulls in and goes B-gap. Hugoton stacks the A's. Good call by Coach Sims.
And here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is good. Colby, 14. Hugoton, 0. 39 seconds to go here in the opening half of play. Great job by Colby here.
And we'll see here if Ben Matchell comes back out to kick or if it's Austin Hart. You'd think that they'd go with Matchell and just try and kick it deep here and put him back as deep as possible.
Or you could throw out Isaac Nichols.
Oh, yeah.
See what they do here. Ben's okay. He can play, but again, they're just trying to keep those snaps down. He was really icing that left leg yesterday, and I think it's shin splints he's been dealing with a little bit. So they're just being careful with him because he's such a pivotal part of this team. But his brother Josh has been exceptional today as well. He's had 1 interception that was by no way, shape, or form his fault. Just a drop ball that ended up in the hands of the other team. And outside of that, he has been phenomenal.
And this is Ben Matchell getting ready to kick it off for the Eagles. Go deep. Hugoton's got a guy at the 8-yard line.
And back deep for Hugoton, Ulysses Reyes. As Thomas mentioned at about the 8. This is a short end over end kick. Bobbled by the up man, bobbled by the second up man. Reyes tries to pick. Oh my, what a hit. Picked up by Hugoton, and Colby comes flying in there. Dante Whitfield decleats the returner there for the Hugoton Eagles. My goodness, what a shot by Dante Whitfield. And Hugoton will have 34 seconds to go.
Whitfield makes a great play on that special teams coverage, and that might earn him some snaps later on. So in the second half, if they need to rest Ben Matchell at linebacker.
One receiver to each side of the field. Parker Titus under center, and looks like they're going to be content to run the clock out. No, they faked a handoff up the middle. Titus kept it himself on the left side, and that's one of their biggest gains of the day there, as Titus picks up about 17 yards and a first down. What I like, too, is I look back at the end of that play back at the line of scrimmage, and you see Brady Slinger picking up two Hugoton players, helping them up afterward. They hustle back to the line of scrimmage. 27 seconds to go. Titus gets the snap. Handoff. Up the middle this time. Baez on the carry, nowhere to run. He's going to pick up a couple. It'll bring up second down and long, and we have a whistle and a timeout taken by Hugoton. 17 seconds to go. They will take a timeout here. They still have one remaining.
Trying to catch Colby off guard again with that little quick hitter up the middle with the fullback dive, and Colby nothing going. He is able to get 4 yards, but they're playing for the pass here, and you have to down in distance and time to go in the first half.
You know, we talked in the pregame show to Coach Todd Fulton of Hugoton, and he talked about how this team has been throwing the ball better, wants to throw the football. Colby has taken that away from them in this game. They have had great pressure on the quarterback. They have had great coverage deep down the field, and it's really made this a one-dimensional game so far for Hugoton running the football. And by the way, we've taken that away too. It's been a phenomenal effort defensively for Colby. Hugoton forced to throw here. They're going to have two receivers to each side of the field as soon as the officials get the ball ready for play out of this timeout. And Colby taking no chances. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5 DBs.
5 DBs all the way off the line of scrimmage. 5 receivers set here for Hugoton. And the Eagles are going to bring a blitz up the middle. Ben Matchell. He's got him. Matchell sneaks through there. Right off the snap of the football. Goes flying down the field and sacks him for a loss. Pull back to the 35-yard line. That's a loss of about 8 yards on the play. And it'll bring up the end of the quarter. End the half with it. 14-0. The Eagles on top of Hugoton at the half. We'll take a break, come back, get things started with our Cornerstone Ag halftime show after this word from our sponsors. You're listening to the Eagles on radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride.
Welcome to the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show on 100.3 The Ride. Brought to you by Cornerstone Ag, where they're there for all of your grain storage, handling, and marketing needs. Highlights and a recap from the first half are coming up after this. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
Stretch yourself. Protect your home and business and the stuff that you love.
When it comes to insuring your home, vehicles, and valuables, don't just insure your stuff, strut your stuff. With Strut Insurance Services of Colby, located just west of Casey's Convenience Store and their store in Brewster. See their ad in the Next Tech directory.
Now take the risk. Strut your stuff. Strut your stuff. Strut Insurance Service in Colby.
Are you running on empty? Service Oil Company in Colby is the place to fill up. Hi, this is Monica with the Service Oil Company. We feature quality Conoco gas at prices that are hard to beat, and we have a great selection of snacks and drinks inside to fill you up. Service Oil Company is focused on bringing you quality fuel at the best prices possible. Come by and experience the difference for yourself. Service Oil Company is open weekdays 8 to 12 and 1 to 5, with pay at the pump open 24/7, located at 4th and Court in Colby.
The fall sports season is in full swing, and it doesn't matter if you're taking it to the house for 6, serving aces, or swinging the clubs this fall. Always remember, Travis and the staff at the Sports Shop in Colby have all the big names and gear you want, from brands like Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas, as well as Asics, Russell, Schutt, and Mizuno. Plus, they got a great selection of shoes and clothes, and the best selection of Colby Eagle apparel around. So see them today on South Franklin and Colby, and they also want to wish you all the best of luck with the rest of your sports season.
Welcome to the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show. It's time to break down the first half and bring you the highlights. Here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back, Chad Jones alongside Thomas Wheeland. We are at the half, 14-0. The Colby Eagles leading the Hugoton Eagles at the half, and it's not really that close. If you really want to break it down in the first half of this game, I think Colby did just a tremendous job of taking care of business in this first half defensively. And again, we've talked about it in these first 2 weeks of the season. They've had things where they've shot themselves. They beat themselves.
Yeah.
You go to the Oakley game, beat themselves on that game. Scott City, that's a good football team. But when you turn it over 5 or 6 times in a football game against a team like that, you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
You don't turn it over 5 or 6 times. It's a lot different football game last week because Colby did a lot of things well. They ran for over 200 yards against a pretty good Scott City Beaver defensive team. So, you know, there's some positives that you take out of that game last week. But this week, again, they're doing some things. They're shooting themselves in the foot in some areas, especially with that with the penalties in the first half, but they're overcoming them today, and they're getting it done defensively, though. That's been the big key.
Yeah, the defense has been lights out so far. I mean, the D-line just isn't allowing anything up front. I mean, they own Hugoton right now. Defensively, I mean, they're not running slants or nothing. They're just going full on, just hat on hat up front. In the secondary, they're able to cover the routes, and the linebackers are really scraping over the top. And we've called Ben Matchell a lot defensively tonight. You know, they walked down Holtzmeister there a few times, but mainly he's got to play back this week because they're going to spread it out and have 3-4 receivers, and he's got to stay back in the secondary. But then Alex Young, he's made some plays, and it's just defense has just been tough tonight.
Yeah, they have been phenomenal. You mentioned Ben Matchell. He has been everywhere defensively tonight, but pretty good offensive first half for him and Matthew Pieper as well. They both ran the football very well, and a lot of that goes to that offensive line. You go back to the opening quarter, and I'm going to give some credit to Coach Sims here as well, too. As you look at that first drive and the first couple series, we were struggling running the football up the middle. Made some adjustments in the blocking scheme. They made some adjustments in kicking more things to the outside, and the running game picked up, and that ended up opening that middle back up for Colby as well. They haven't thrown the ball in this game hardly at all.
No.
You go back to that opening series, the interception, and outside of that, but you know when you're running the ball this well, you don't need to.
No, and there's no reason to put the ball in the air if you're just getting 4 yards a pop, and then you're going to, you know, eventually, like they did, 4 yards in a cloud of dust. I mean, it's an old, you know, St. Francis, Smith Center thing, and what they try and do, break them down.
So a good first half for Colby there. The scoring in the first half came this way. Nothing in the opening quarter. Kind of back and forth. The field position was dominated by Hugoton. Of course, they took over off that interception by Colby on the first possession of the game at about the 29-yard line. Picked up a bad penalty, a 15-yard illegal participation penalty. Colby was able to sack him, too, push him back even further on that one. But the field position was dominated by Hugoton in the first half. They only started one drive in their own territory in the first half of the game, and that was at the 42-yard line. So they've had tremendous field position, but it hasn't mattered. Colby's been able to take care of business there. So back and forth in that opening quarter with a battle on field position. The Eagles had a couple drives that they were moving the ball well, but again hurt themselves with penalties, especially the holding penalties. They had 3 of them in the first half. Second quarter of the ball game, the Eagles were much better. They cut down on the penalties, moved the football very well, and they got a couple of nice scores. And the first one came on a 71-yard touchdown run by Josh Matchell. And again, just an option play. He made a great cut, made a great read, took it on that right side and was gone, and really showed some speed, too, splitting 2 defenders and then flying down the field. And then with 39 seconds to go, again, the Eagle defense does a good job stopping Hugoton. Colby gets the football back. They got a hand on a punt, knocked it up into the air where it didn't go very far. They ended up starting the drive on the 29-yard line, and that with about 1:38 to go in the game. It took them 59 seconds, and they were able to get it down the field, punch it into the end zone, capped off on a 2-yard touchdown run by Josh Matchell and the quarterback keeper. And he made a good read, too. They'd shown the quarterback keeper. Hugoton called a timeout right at the snap of the football. So Colby had just shown what they were going to do. So on the next play, instead of going straight ahead, right off the hip of your center, he instead kind of took it to the right side and went behind his right guard and right tackle right in between Austin Hart and Brady Slinger and got it easily into the end zone for the touchdown. Both extra points were perfect by Isaac Nichols, and 14-0. That's our score at the end of the first half of play, and a very dominant performance by the Eagles. So that's how it breaks down up to one half. We'll take a break, come back. We'll have our health tip of the half. We'll come back and name our hot hand of the first half. Coming up after a word from our sponsors, you're listening to the Eagles on Radio and the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show on 100.3 The Ride.
This is the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show on 100.3 The Ride. The health tip of the half is next. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
Health insurance has changed. You have new options, but which one is right for you? Farm Bureau agent Vernon Hurd knows health insurance and can help you understand all of your options and the differences between them so you can feel confident about having the right insurance plan for you and your family. Making your health insurance decisions is easier with a Farm Bureau agent by your side. Contact me, Vernon Hurd, your local, trusted Farm Bureau agent in Colby today. I make health insurance simple. When it comes to your flooring and cabinetry needs, don't forget about Northwest Kansas Decorating, located on West 4th Street in Colby. Stop in and see them today. They have a full line of flooring. Whether it's hardwood, laminate, or carpet, they've got it all at Northwest Kansas Decorating. Plus a great selection of cabinetry and countertops. Stop by and talk to Carrie and the crew today at Northwest Kansas Decorating in Colby about all your flooring and cabinetry needs. Northwest Kansas Decorating, a proud supporter of the Colby Eagles on 100.3
Hi,
Rock.
I'm Dr. Mark Gunlock, now with Northwest Kansas Chiropractic in Colby. As part of the team at Northwest Kansas Chiropractic, I will not only be there to serve you in all your chiropractic needs, but will also be able to improve your health and well-being with acupuncture and Graston technique. The Graston technique breaks down scar tissue, helps in faster rehabilitation, and treats chronic conditions like joint pain, plantar fasciitis, and fibromyalgia. I'm Dr. Mark Gunlock, inviting you to come see me at Northwest Kansas Chiropractic in Colby and start feeling better today.
Welcome back to the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show. It's time for the health tip of the half with the doctors at Northwest Kansas Chiropractic.
Graston technique is an advanced form of myofascial release when fascia is diagnosed as tissue generator of the patient's pain. It is used widely today for all patient populations and is one of the preferred treatments for all patient populations. It is also one of the best forms of therapy for occupational stress that require long-term static posture or overuse injuries due to repetitive motion. This technique is also one of the best treatment options for young children and teens to help prevent long-term chronic pain from the stresses of backpacks, computers, sports, and using their phones. Graston technique changes the nature of adhesive scar tissue and restores the proper gliding and sliding of myofascial connective tissue. The technique utilizes patented stainless steel instruments uniquely shaped to treat different areas of the body. A key benefit to patients is that they are able to engage in activities of daily living during treatment. In this way, active care and independence is promoted. When the instruments contact the symptomatic tissue, the patient will notice a distinct feeling of going over a speed bump or gravel-like grittiness. The clinical goal is to reduce adhered fibers, restoring proper function and eliminating the pain associated with it. Patient response is variable, but is common for patients to report significant reductions in pain and restoration of strength and function rapidly. It is not uncommon for a patient to begin seeing results on the first visit. Graston technique suggests that an area of symptomatic tissue be treated for 30 seconds to a minute per affected area. Depending on how long the condition has been present, multiple visits may be required. Some conditions that positively respond to Graston technique are headaches, migraines, neck pain, TMJ pain, pain between shoulder blades, lower back pain, hip pain, groin pain, hamstring or quadricep pain and tightness, knee pain, ankle pain like Achilles tendinosis, plantar fasciitis, shoulder pain or the rotator cuff, elbow pain, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, wrist pain, finger and toe pain like trigger finger and turf toe, numbness, tingling, carpal tunnel syndrome, shin splints, strains and sprains, scar tissue, and other acute chronic injuries. For more information on Graston technique, visit us at nwkchiro.com or like us on Facebook. This is Dr. Mark Gunlock with Northwest Kansas Chiropractic, inviting you to come see me and start feeling better.
When the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show returns, we will name the McKee Incorporated Hot Player of the first half, and we'll give you our keys to the second half. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
Fall's perfect for getting cozy, and that makes it the perfect time to call McKee Incorporated for a new Lennox home comfort system. And right now, receive a rebate of up to $1,700 on your qualifying Lennox purchase. Call McKee Incorporated at 785-462-3132 today. That's 785-462-3132 for the perfect sale on a system that can make you comfortable this season and throughout the entire year. Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Now, with more of the Eagles on Radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride, Cornerstone Ag halftime show. Time today by McKee Incorporated. Hot hand in the first half for Colby. And it's not really a doubt on this one, I think, in the first half, Thomas. We talked briefly, and I'm not going to narrow it down to one player. We're going to narrow it down to 5 today, and that's Bryce Armberger, Brady Slinger, Jay, Hart, and Pieper. That defensive line for Colby has been absolutely phenomenal in this football game. They have stuffed the run. They have pressured the quarterback. They've been everywhere.
Absolutely. They've done everything you wanted them to do. You can throw Schutte and Hugoton. They've been spelling guys in there. And and it's been a while since you've been able to go 7 deep on your defensive line like Gardner can do tonight, and they've just been flat out getting after it. I'm sure they came into this game ready to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, and they heard, hey, Hugoton's throwing this year, and instead of running the veer all the time, they're hungry and they're ready to get after the quarterback.
So they have done it and done it well tonight. We appreciate the effort there. Little League football team being honored tonight. They're the honorary captains here at Denon Field in Colby for this contest. The Hugoton Eagles and Colby Eagles are back on the field, warming up, getting set to go. We're a few minutes away from kickoff of the second half. We'll take a break, back with more of the halftime show in just a minute.
The Eagles soar back to your radio after this.
Cornerstone Ag is committed to the Northwest Kansas community because they're proud to be a part of it. At Cornerstone Ag, the staff works hard to be your local answer to all of your grain storage and handling needs, as well as a great local marketing resource. Their service is fast and friendly, with questions being answered on site by their professionals. During non-peak times, they can even assist you with pickup and delivery services. Cornerstone Ag, where local customer service is not just a priority, it's the only way they'll do business.
Local farmers and businesses are the backbone of our community. They provide jobs for local people and supply our community with important goods and services. Here at Farmers and Merchants Bank, we invest heavily in our community for the future of the community. Last year alone, our bank participated and sponsored over 100 events representing over 50 groups and service organizations. If you ever wondered where your deposits go, just look around. Our name says it all. Farmers and Merchants, together making a difference. We'd like to encourage you to shop and bank locally. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC.
This has been the Cornerstone Ag Halftime Show on 100.3 The Ride. Brought to you by Cornerstone Ag in Colby, where they serve the area's grain storage, marketing, and handling needs. Now, with the call of the second half, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back to Denon Field in Colby, Kansas. We are getting set for the second half. Colby leads Hugoton by a score of 14-0 tonight here in this Greater Western Athletic Conference game. Standings in the GWAC right now, Ulysses and Scott City and Holcomb are all 1-0 in GWAC play and 2-0 overall on the season. Hugoton comes into this game tonight. They're 0-1 in GWAC play, losing last week to Holcomb. And then 1-1 overall in the season. They got a win in their opening week of the year against Guyman, Oklahoma. Goodland comes in, they're 0-1 on the year, and 1-1 overall. 1-1 overall in the season, 0-1 in GWAC play. As they lost last week to Ulysses pretty handily in Goodland. In fact, the final score of that game, 46-14. And then Colby 0-2 on the season, 0-1 in GWAC play. Right now, I heard a score 16-0 was the last I heard. Scott City leading Goodland at the end of the opening quarter of play on that game tonight. So, tough one there. It's homecoming as well for the Cowboys tonight with Scott City in town. That's a tough task. 3 games in the GWAC tonight, Scott City and Goodland. Hugoton here at Colby. Ulysses is at Holcomb tonight. That game ought to be a battle. I think Holcomb's a much improved football team over what they were last year, and they were pretty decent last year. And Ulysses, of course, GWAC champions last year for the first time. First time anybody but Scott City's won the GWAC.
Yeah.
And that'll be a good battle. I think those two go head-to-head next week. Scott City and Ulysses. No. Colby Ulysses next week. Scott City Ulysses the week after.
Yeah, Holcomb's a tough football team. I mean, they've been tough the last few years. You go down there, and they're just fast. They won. I know they put a lot of points up at state track the last few years in 3A for the boys teams, and it shows with their quarterbacks and their receivers. And they just play fast, and they can get out in the open field and be gone in a hurry.
Ready to start the second half. Ulysses Armendariz is back deep for the Hugoton Eagles, and he's standing at about the 10-yard line. Ben Matchell to kick it away here for Colby. Kick on the way, line drive, kick and a bounce. Rolling, picked up at about the 8-yard line. It's a running room for Armendariz, hit by Austin Russ, but he stays on his feet and then brought down out near the 31-yard line, close to a face mask on that play by Colby, but the tackle made, and Hugoton will start the football at their own 31-yard line. Worst starting field position of the game for Hugoton.
And a great heads-up kick by Ben Matchell, kicking it to the open field. Armendariz playing to the wide side, or playing to the far side of the field, kicks it to the near side of the field where the big gap is for a short return.
Parker Titus under center, I formation behind him, two receivers to the right side. Handoff's going to go right up the middle to Michael Baez. No room on the carry that time. Hit immediately for no gain on the play, maybe even a loss. In fact, coming out of there with the football was Austin Hart, but they were whistled down before he was able to wrestle away from Baez.
And you like to see that from your defensive line. I mean, Coach Gardner talked last week in the postgame about turnover circuit, second man strip, and things like that. And they stand him up right there. The defensive line does, and Austin Hart comes out there with the football.
Hager wide to the left side, wide to the right for Hugoton is Armendariz. This is going to go to the left side of the quarterback keeper, and Parker Titus breaking tackles, gets it out near midfield. They'll bring him down at the Hugoton 49-yard line, and nice gain of 11 yards on the play and a first down.
One of the first times that Hugoton's lined up in just a straight throw formation tonight. They run a little dive option to the tight end side, and Parker Titus is able to cut it up and get a big gain and a first down.
Good to the left side. Hager to the right side. I formation again. Guard pulls. They hand it off to Baez. The ball is loose. The ball is loose, and Colby has the football. The ball knocked loose. The Eagles get the recovery on the play, and Colby returns the favor in the second half as they get the turnover on the first possession of Hugoton in the second half, as Colby turned it over on their first possession of the first half. Ben Matchell comes up with that one.
And defensive line stands up the running back, actually pushes the offensive lineman back into the tailback. Ball squirts out, and Matchell comes up with it as he's scraping across.
Josh Matchell gets the snap, hands it out to Pieper to the left side. This is well defended by Hugoton. A penalty flag is down, and Colby brought down for a loss of about 3 on the play. Flag thrown from the line judge over on that far side of the field.
Hugoton does a good job stringing that play out, pushing it to the sideline. There's just nowhere to run for Pieper.
Holding on Colby. There's the 4th holding penalty of the game against Colby. This happened again about 3 yards deep. That penalty's been declined. They're going to take the loss of 3, and Colby loses a down then on the play as well. So second down and 13. Colby getting the play from the sideline here. 2 backs in the backfield, wing back to the right side. Josh Matchell in the pistol gets the snap. Option play to the right side. Cuts it up the field himself. Breaks a couple of tackles and spins forward all the way down to the 40-yard line and gains about 7 yards on the play. And this is going to bring up third long for the Eagles.
Option play to this side of the field. Austin Hart gets out in front of it. Little G option that we've seen before in this game, and Josh was able to cut up the field and get a big gain for the Eagles, get back what they lost, and then some.
Alex Young will split out to the left side. Holzmeister in the slot, going in motion from left to right. Two backs behind Ben Matchell, and the handoff goes to Holzmeister. He went in motion from left to right and came back to the left and got the inside handoff on kind of a jet sweep. But couldn't get around the corner. Brought down by Hugoton for a loss of a yard. It'll bring up, now they got him back to the line. Fourth down now for Colby and about 7 to go.
Yeah, and Matchell fakes the handoff to Pieper and then hands the ball off underneath to Holzmeister on the counter. Just nothing going on that left side. Hugoton does a good job of stopping the Eagles at the line of scrimmage, and there's no room to run for Brady Holzmeister.
4th and 7 for Colby. Young to the left side. Two receivers there as well, and Hugoton just jumped off sides. No idea why. Colby wasn't even set yet, and just jumping across that time was Peyton Cornelson. The freshman for Hugoton is going to cost him 5 yards and make this a 4th and short for Colby.
Great job.
Not a good play there for Cornelson. We'll see where they spot this. It should bring up about 4th and 2 for Colby now instead of 4th and 7. Yeah, the ball's at the 35. They need to get to 30 to the 33.
This is a much better situation for Coach Sims. A lot more of his playbook opened up with that penalty.
Eagles with a little confusion here getting the play in. Now they're set to go. Low snap, Matchell's able to get it to Pieper. He dives forward, and he's not going to get it. He got it across the 35, picked up a yard on the play, but he needed, again, probably 2.5 to get the first down. So great job by Hugoton. They hold on that one. Again, the penalty costly for Colby, though, on that drive. So now the Hugoton Eagles will take over. Scott City 34, Goodland 6. That's at the half tonight in Goodland. Two receivers to each side of the field. Snaps low, but they're able to get to it. This one batted away. Boy, quick hands there for Colby on that one. And big credit to Eric Schutte swatting the ball away. Pass intended for Armendariz on the outside.
Hugoton tries running the bubble screen this side of the field. Armendariz is the intended target. Eric Schutte comes into the game from Matthew Pieper at the defensive end position. Does a good job of getting off his block and getting out into the passing lane and disrupting that throw.
Hugoton will have trips to the left side. One receiver and Manny Mendoza wide to the right side. And they're going to try a little screen pass that's completed to Baez, and he is brought down immediately. Schutte in on the play for Colby, the first man making to stop Ben Matchell. Forces him to cut in on the play. And great job by the Eagles cleaning it up. 3rd and 7.
Hugoton just tries to get numbers out there on the left side of the field. Just runs an immediate swing route with Baez and just goes nowhere.
3rd down now for Hugoton. Two receivers to each side. Shotgun formation. Titus calling out the play. Gets the snap looking to his right. Has a man cutting across the middle of the field, and it is caught. Boy, pretty good catch that time because Josh Matchell was all over the intended receiver that time. And that's a little in route there by Wade Hager across the middle.
Little crossing route by Hager. Matchell's with him the whole way. Great coverage on the play. Just no push up front. And Parker Titus, has all day to throw.
We'll go back into the hurry-up. Two receivers to each side. Titus in the shotgun formation. Gets the snap looking to his left. That pass is completed, but not for much on the gain. It was pulled in on the play by Ulysses Armendariz, but he was hit immediately by Austin Ross. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Give him 3.
Hugoton goes in doubles again. Armendariz lines up in his inside receiver position on the left side of the field, runs a little speed out, and Austin Russ drives on it.
This time they go with a little delayed inside handoff and a nice cut to the right side by the back and Michael Baez. He's going to pick up about 5 yards. It's going to bring up short yardage play here on 3rd down. 3 to go. Hugoton again in that hurry-up. Two receivers to each side. Titus gets the snap. Option play to the right side. Pitches out to Baez. He gets to the corner. Brought down immediately by Josh Matchell. But he's going to have enough of the first down on the play. Depends on the spot here, but from our angle, I think he has it.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the first down. Great play by Matchell coming up on that open field tackle, getting off the receiver's block, getting up there and stopping him for a short gain. Just unfortunately, they pick up the first down.
They do give him the first, as you mentioned, 1st and 10 to go. Ball now just, again, at about the 44-yard line of Colby. Looking to throw again, looking deep down the field. They got a man open, and it is caught, and that's going to be a touchdown. Getting back behind the defense was Kellen Watkins, a perfect pass that time from Parker Titus. That one going to go for 44 yards and a Hugoton touchdown.
And Colby fakes the bubble, Hugoton fakes the bubble route on that one that they just run, and then makes a double move with the outside receiver and goes up for the touchdown. A play that Colby fell for earlier in the game, the ball was just overthrown. Hugoton comes back to it.
They'll line up for the extra point opportunity. Colby Korf to kick it away. It's blocked by the Eagles. Colby will catch it, pick it up, but you can't return anything here in high school. Once it's blocked, the play is over with. Once the ball hits the ground and the defensive player gets it. So that is huge, though, for the Eagles as they get the block and the score 14-6. Colby on top, 6:59 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a break, come back more after this. You got 41 on that.
The Eagles soar back to your radio after this.
Football season is here, and it's time to get that game day meal ready. Well, Pizza Hut of Colby has always had great pizza and service that allow you to have a tasty meal that's convenient. They have the lunchtime buffet and their renovated restaurant, and they still have carry-out and delivery services for those of you who want to eat at home. Colby Pizza Hut is now a Wing Street location as well. With 3 different types of wings and 8 sauces, you can find the perfect combo for watching football. You can get that perfect game day meal with pizza or wings from Pizza Hut and Wing Street in Colby.
It's time someone stood up for breakfast. The meal that sets the tone for your entire day. Hey, a soy latte isn't breakfast. Toast or pastry from a vending machine aren't either. Fluffy scrambled eggs, sizzling sausage, bacon. This is breakfast. And this is what's in Taco John's breakfast burritos, along with nacho cheese and golden potato olays, wrapped up like scrambled sunshine. They're the best breakfast burritos in town. Only at Taco John's.
Taco John's.
Now, with more of the Eagles on radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back. A short kickoff by Hugoton after they got their first score of the game. Unfortunately, when Colby caught it, he had to go to a knee to get it. The return man, so down right there on the spot. Never been a fan of that rule in high school. I know it's to try to protect players, but I don't know that it necessarily does. There's nobody touching you. Get up and go. Here we go. Eagles set to go. Josh Matchell in the pistol. Double wing formation. Man in motion from left to right. Snap is low. Matchell's going to keep it himself, running around the left side, and gets to the sideline and maybe gets a yard on the play. We'll see where they spot it. Actually might be short a little bit.
Good job by Josh Matchell having the presence of mind to pick the ball up and go. Snap was low and to the left. Ball drops on the ground. He knows it's a broken play. He just picks the ball up and gets what he can.
Second down, 12.
Josh again will get set in the pistol formation. Austin Russ wide to the right side. One receiver wide to the left. Double wings here. Man in motion from left to right. Handoff on the end around. This is Ben Matchell. Gets a block on the outside, but it takes a little long to develop, and he's going to get forward for a few yards on the play. Hard-fought yards by Ben Matchell that time, and it'll bring up third down at about 9 for Colby.
On that play, Matthew Pieper, his pistol back, just isn't able to hold the block long enough. Slow developing play. Hugoton strings it out a little bit. Ben has to run to the sideline a little farther. Pieper isn't able to hold that block long enough. And the defender slips off and holds up Matchell.
And Ben actually got away from the first guy, but it took so long that it allowed his help to get there. And here's Josh Matchell on the carry to the left side. Cuts it back up the middle. Second effort, he's still pushing forward. And now they blow the whistle, and he may have it with that second and third effort. I tell you what, Matchell boys are running hard tonight. And Josh that time with the second effort gets it right to the 30-yard line. And that is a first down for the Colby Eagles.
That's huge. Josh picked up a couple blocks from the left side of the line. Is able to get 3 or 4 yards and makes a great cutback to the middle of the field. And is able with the second effort to get the first down.
Not sure what the delay was. I think Hugoton wanted them to measure, but the chain had been moved. But he had it. He was across the 30, and that's what he needed to be. The ball's just past it. Colby set to go again. Man in motion from left to right. And they'll hand it off there again. Ben Matchell gets the good block this time, cuts it up the field. Takes it across the 50, still on his feet and dragging defenders as he gets it across midfield to the 48 of Hugoton. 23 yards on the carry and a first down for Colby.
And that time Ben gets a big block by his running mate Matthew Pieper on the outside. Is able to spring him, cuts up the block, the backside of Pieper's jersey, and picks up a huge gain.
5 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Third quarter, 14-6. Colby on top. Eagles with the football. Holzmeister in motion from right to left. They fake the hand. No, they give the handoff to Pieper, and that was well played by Hugoton. They had the all-out blitz on that one, and they're going to stop Colby for a loss of 3.
A big blitz by Hugoton there for a big loss to Colby. 3 yards on the play. Just nothing doing for Pieper up the middle.
And the defense got there when he got the handoff. Josh Matchell asking for an official timeout here as he's trying to work on the helmet of Matthew Pieper. That's heady on Josh's part, looking over to the official saying, hey, stop the clock here so I can get my teammate ready for play. They do. Here we go. Austin Russ to the right side. 2 backs and to the right as well for Colby. And the handoff is a fake to Pieper. Josh Matchell keeps, breaks tackles, dives forward across the 40-yard line of Hugoton and down to the 39. That's going to be shy of a first down, but not by much. And a great run by Josh Matchell.
Looks like just a straight quarterback keep. He wasn't reading anybody on that play. Matchell just keeps the ball. He fakes it to Pieper, keeps it, runs off tackle to the right side of the field, and is able to pick up some big blocks, overloaded by those wings set over there, and picks up a big gain.
Alex Young will be split to the left side for Colby. Slot is to the left as well. High formation with Matchell under center. Hand off to Holzmeister, the tailback on the left side, and he gets forward for a yard or so on the play. This will be close to the first down. It depends on the spot, and it appears as though he's going to be short by about a half a yard. And I would not be surprised to see some sort of keeper here.
Yeah.
We've ran those well today. Play coming in from the sideline here. Russ to the right. Matchell under center. High formation behind him. Slot back to the right. Snap, and it's going to be a running play to the right side. They go to the outside, and Matchell's loose. Down the sideline at the 20, the 10. He dives inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Great play call that time. We talked about it up here. Quarterback keeper right up the middle. Now Sims had a different idea. He thought Hugoton would think the same thing. They did. Matchell around the right side. Big gain on the play, and Colby has first and goal to go inside the 5 once more.
And a great play down the field by Austin Russ. Just runs his guy off. He's playing man. Russ is able to get behind him, then runs down the field with his hands up like the ball's coming to him. DB's running away from Josh Matchell as Matchell's running down his back.
Big run by Josh. He's going to have over 100 yards rushing today. He had that 71-yard touchdown run earlier tonight. That one for 30. Here's the snap. Hand off to Ben Matchell on the right side, blocking there. Dives forward. Short. Oh. He dove and made a good effort stretching the football out there at the end of the play, but they're going to spot it. The nose short.
And Ben tried to cut that one back for number 15 for Hugoton. Zach Lininger makes a good play in the open field, stops his feet. Ben isn't able to quite cut back inside of him. He might have been able to make it to the pylon if he would have kept running straight.
Here we go. Second and goal to go from the 1-yard line. Split backs, handoff right side, Ben Matchell to the right, touchdown! Ben Matchell takes it into the end zone on a 1-yard run. On the right side of scrimmage, and the Eagles add to the lead now. They lead 20-6 with 2:20 to go here in the third quarter of play.
Jay Ziegelmeyer and Austin Hart pick up some big blocks on the right side of the line and just drive Hugoton's defensive line into the linebackers and open a huge hole for Ben on the right side of the line.
Extra point opportunity upcoming here. Isaac Nichols gets the kick up, and that one's good, and then some. 21 for Colby, 6 for Hugoton. 2:20 to play here in the third quarter. We'll take another break. Back with more of the Eagles on Radio and Colby football in just a minute. We'll be back with more Colby football in just a minute on 100.3 The Ride.
The Eagles soar back to your radio after this.
For one-stop shopping in Colby, Kansas, don't forget about Colby's Walmart. Walmart in Colby has a great selection of grocery items in the store. From meat to macaroni, they've got it in the grocery department of Walmart. And, of course, all the latest movies on DVD or Blu-ray, as well as your favorite PlayStation or Wii games. Walmart in Colby also has clothes, dog food, and, of course, the pharmacy there to serve you as well. Walmart of Colby, proud to be part of the community and proud to support local high school student-athletes. For all your one-stop shopping, it's Walmart in Colby.
And they can take that chill off you there at Plum Creek Limited. See the new arrivals they do have for ladies and for men of clothing for fall and winter. Really some good buys right now, too. And, of course, they're marking down the summer rack. So come on in and save at Plum Creek and see the new colors of fall. Kind of about as bright as what the colors will be when it gets here, y'all. The colors of fall found at Plum Creek in downtown Colby. Remember them for a wedding, too. Booking your tuxedos.
Now, with more of the Eagles on Radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football. 100.3 The Ride. Colby leads Hugoton 21-6 with 2:10 to go in the third quarter. From Denon Field in Colby tonight, the Eagles have not won a football game since September the 21st, 2012. A 16-game losing streak for Colby. Their last win was a 21-0 win over these Hugoton Eagles tonight. They try to end the streak against Hugoton as well. Hugoton with the football back to pass, and they dump it off with a little middle screen that's well set up. And a big run here after the catch by Michael Beza as he gets it across midfield to the Colby 46-yard line. About a 19-yard gain on the play.
And that's a great call by Hugoton. I mean, Colby's defensive line just been rearing back and getting after the quarterback in the backfield all night, and they get a little over anxious on that one and get caught being too aggressive and get hit with the screen for a big gain.
1st and 10 to go. Here's the snap. It's a little low, but they get the handoff to Beza, and he is hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, maybe a short loss. As Colby again through there immediately on the defensive line.
Colby tackled by Alex Young.
And Colby sends Ben Matchell through the A-gap. Him and James J. Both split the A's and able to cause a bunch of disruption and able to the rest of the defensive line to clean them up.
2nd and 10 to go. 3 receivers to the left side for Hugoton, 1 to the right. Shotgun with 1 back in the backfield. Titus gets the snap, fakes it to Baez, throws it deep down the field, has a man, and it is dropped. Incomplete on the play. Ulysses Armendariz, the intended receiver. That's twice they've done that to us today, where they faked that screen pass to the outside and then looked deep down the field and had an open man. And that time, the coverage gets there late for Colby, but enough to disrupt the pass.
Yeah, and on that, after that play, you see Coach Sims over there, the defensive backs coach, talking to Austin Rutz, the safety in the middle of the field. Brady Holzmeister's on this side. Austin's responsible for the number 3 receiver, the farthest inside receiver. And he's pointing at his eyes, telling him, look in. You got to be looking at your guy. You're going to read 3-1 on that. And he got caught looking at the quarterback.
2 receivers to each side on 3rd and 10. Here's the snap. Quarterback to pass, under pressure, looks, throws, and it is caught for a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Ulysses Armendariz pulls it in from pass by Parker Titus. So again, he's brought down immediately, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 5 to go for Hugoton.
Armendariz, not a big guy. He runs a little speed out there, and Titus throws it a little high and a little behind him, but makes a great grab as he jumps in the air and turns his body backwards and is able to pull that ball down for a gain of 5.
Yeah, just 5'6", 130 pounds for Armendariz, and he actually comes out of the game here. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Under center this time, and the ball comes loose on the play. As they tried that little power play up the middle. I don't think Colby's got it, but it doesn't matter. Turnover on downs. Eagles are going to start at their own 39-yard line.
a little dive option. It looked like the fullback, Neil Camacho, took the handoff, and Titus was actually trying to pull that one back.
So, a good defensive stand again by the Eagles as we have 8 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. And the officials are stopping things here and wanting some time put on the clock, I believe. They're going to radio it up here. 1:40. I think they're wanting 14 seconds. There we go.
There we go.
So 14 seconds to go. So Colby will have time to run one play, but they do not have to run one if they don't want to. I think they do. 3 receivers to the right side of the field for Colby, just bunched together. Handoff's going to go up the middle. Pieper on the carry. And good second effort. He gets a yard out of that. That was like he was going to be stopped for a loss. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. Now, wait a minute. Clock is stopped. We have a penalty on the play, and maybe a face mask against Hugoton. It is. Face mask against Hugoton. So they'll mark 5 yards off here. They'll make it first down for Colby and about 4 to go.
First down and 4.
Great play by Pieper. Great second effort. He's able to keep his legs turning like we talked about. Pieper's great at that. And he's able to, on the second effort, draw a face mask penalty and set the Eagles up for first and 4.
They wind the clock, and that will end the third quarter as Colby will not run another play. They'll have first down and 4 yards to go from their own 46-yard line when we start the fourth quarter of this football game. After this word from our sponsors, you're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride.
The Eagles soar back to your radio after this.
Physical ailments and injuries are a red light on the road of life. Tina Harris Physical Therapy can turn those painful red lights green, allowing you to move forward with life. Free screenings for pain and injury, sports medicine, hand therapy, post-surgery therapy, all offered by Tina Harris Physical Therapy. And this is just a small sampling of the services they offer. If it has to do with bringing you back to health and enjoying normal everyday life, chances are Tina Harris Physical Therapy can help. And they work with most insurance companies. Turn painful red lights back to green with Tina Harris Physical Therapy on Franklin in downtown Colby.
Farm Credit Western Kansas and Colby has once again returned $2.5 million of patronage to its members. In just the past 10 years alone, we have put nearly $20 million back into the area economy. At Farm Credit, we are proud to be the area's leading ag lender, taking an active interest in the success of our borrower owners. If you're involved in agriculture and not a Farm Credit member, why not? Call us at 1-800-657-6048 to find out the difference it makes being an owner. Farm Credit Western Kansas, financing ag for generations.
Now, with more of the Eagles on Radio, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Whelan.
As we come back, we start the fourth quarter with a handoff on the right side to Ben Matchell, and he's able to pick up the necessary 4 yards for the first down. So Colby has first and 10 to go. The football is at their own 45-yard line. Colby leading the Hugoton Eagles 21-6. Welcome you all tonight on 100.3 The Ride. Also at nwksradio.com for our streaming video of the Eagles on Radio. As Colby with the inside handoff on this play. I like that one. Just a quick dive play on the left side. Pieper going to get forward for about 2-3 yards on the play. Second and 7. But again, welcome our viewers as well online at nwksradio.com. You catch all the Eagles football games there in high def. You stop by on the website, click on that. A big thank you to Farmers and Merchants Bank and Strut Insurance Services for making the streaming video of Colby Sports possible at nwksradio.com. And a big thank you to Des Sanguinetti running the camera tonight. Second and 7 to go for Colby, just shy of midfield. Under center this time. Handoff goes to the second back through, and just nothing doing as Pieper hit at the line of scrimmage. He did spin forward. Ends up getting a yard on the play. Does Holzmeister on the carry that time. And it's going to bring up third down and 6 to go for Colby.
And Holzmeister that time on, he decides to cut the play up to the middle, doesn't follow his blocks from Matchell on the outside, and there's nothing going. Hugoton's able to collapse on the inside run really quick.
look for a run to the right side. Colby's had so much success against the left defensive front of Hugoton. Here's the handoff. They'll go to the left side, and that one is just played tremendously by Hugoton. It's still a yard gain on the play somehow by Matthew Pieper as he gets it right to midfield. 3rd and 5.
And Zach Lininger, number 15 for Hugoton, does a great job of holding up the Colby wing on the outside from his defensive end position, kind of disrupting that play. That allows Mendez, a strong safety, to come down and fill that alley, and together they stop the play for a short gain.
Colby getting set in punt formation. They're watching the play clock here. This is Ben Matchell. Now he's ready. He gets the snap. Gets a booming kick away. Angle to the sideline. That's out of bounds at around the 14. We'll see where they spot it here, but a great punt that time by Ben Matchell. High spiraling kick. It was kind of weird. He had his back turned. He was watching the play clock in the other end zone. It was the one in ours not working.
No, it's working. I'm just not sure. Maybe Ben just doesn't know that there's two of them.
I was waiting for some kind of snap and fake or something going on there, you know. Good punt, though. They spotted it at the 11, and that is where Hugoton will start. Parker Titus has had a rough night. He is under center. I formation behind him with twins to the left side. Handoff's going to go to Bayes on the left side. He's hit initially and does a good job with the second effort of getting forward for about 4 yards. 2nd and 6.
Hugoton comes back with an unbalanced formation, moves their right tackle over to the end of the left line. 15, Lininger is playing on the right tackle this side. They're able to get some numbers on the left side, big on big, and push Colby for a gain of 4.
Hager will be split wide to the right side for Hugoton, as well as Ulysses Armendariz. One receiver to the left side. Back to pass again is Titus, and he gets hit as he threw the football, and they're throwing a flag on this one. It's a big gainer down the sideline. Drug out of bounds at about the 35 of Colby was a receiver in Zach Lininger. And we'll see what the penalty flag is. The quarterback and Parker Titus went down hard on the play. And here's the deal. If this is a roughing the passer, I will not be happy with the call. It is. He still had the ball in his hands when he was hit. I don't know how you can call that when he's getting hit.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter in the end because they get the long gain. It's going to be declined. But
there's great pressure up front by the defensive line just to back in. They run 2 receivers this side of the field with the tight end, so they got trips over here. They run the 2 receivers deep off it in routes. The tight end slips out and a little speed out and is able to hit him, and Lininger turns it into a big gain.
Colby takes a timeout here. We'll keep it here. They do mark off 15 yards at the end of the play for that roughing the passer. So it becomes a massive play that gives Hugoton the football down at about the 24-yard line, 23-yard line. Well, 1st and 10 to go there as they try to battle back into this game. Colby leading Hugoton 21-6, 8:51 to go here in the 4th quarter tonight from Denonfield and Colby. The crowd better tonight from what we saw last week against Scott City, and it's nice to see the fans here. These kids have been working hard and, again, deserve the crowd to come and watch them come out here and put forth effort. And that's the thing about this group of kids, Thomas, that I think we see is you're seeing ultimate effort on every play. I mean, they really have, no matter which direction the game's going or how things are going, they're giving 100%.
Absolutely, just pure hustle. I mean, even if they screw up, it's 100 miles an hour, and that's what you really want as a coaching staff.
2 receivers to the left side for Hugoton. You got Holzmeister and Tanner Elias out there in coverage. The handoff's going to be a fake up the middle, and boy, Parker Titus right now is wishing he would have handed the ball off to Beza because he was hit high and low at the same time and crunched at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward for a yard of the play. 2nd and 9 to go.
The left side of Colby's defensive line does a good job of not following the pulls down the line and hold their ground for that read option.
2 receivers to the left side for Hugoton. And here's the pass over the middle. Man is open, and it's dropped. Incomplete. Good job on the coverage that time. Tanner Elias
That one away. Does a great job. Coming in on the 7 route. He's a little underneath of it. He's underneath the receiver. So he's a good job staying in his hip pocket, making a play on the ball there at the end to get a hand on it and knock it away.
They were trying to get it to Zach Lininger. Again, Tanner Elias in there for Josh Brown, who has a knee injury. And they're supposed to find out today on how that is going and whether he'll be able to come back this season. 2 receivers left on 3rd down and a long 10. Titus back to pass. It's that screen. And this time Colby stays at home, and Ben Matchell takes care of business as he brings down Baez for a loss of a yard on the play, 4th and 11 to go. And again, great job by Colby. They were fooled on it the first time. They're not going to get him on the second.
And great job by Ben Matchell, scraping over. He reads the play right away, gets over, sheds a block, makes a tackle, but also by Austin Hart and Bryce Armstrong weren't fooled either. They were in the area, not getting too far upfield and get that screen ran by them.
7:42 to go in this game. 21-6 Colby, and it's a big 4th down for Hugoton, and 11 yards to go from the 25-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 back to the left side. They're looking left. Throw over the middle of the field, and it's way off the mark short. Colby will get the football on downs. Great job down the field defending that time. There was nowhere to throw for Parker Titus, and Colby will take over on downs and a chance to run some clock here now and put this one away.
Great job by the secondary on that play. They got a wheel route running to the outside. They got a post. They've got a crossing route. I mean, they just had it all covered. Great job by the secondary.
Eagles will head to the line of scrimmage here. High formation. Matchell under center. Gets the snap, hands it off on a little counter play to the left side. Ben Matchell gets hit at the line of scrimmage and does finish hard and gets forward for a yard of the play, 2nd and 9.
That's just one of those plays that's just real slow developing. I mean, Ben just got to try and wait, and then finally, you get back there. You can get pretty impatient when you got all those defensive linemen coming there, and Ben gets just a little too impatient waiting on the wing coming back from the backside, Brady Holzmeister. And Ben leads up and leads the lead blocker, and short gain on the play.
Well, Ben Matchell back into the pistol formation, or I should say Josh Matchell in the pistol formation. That snap was a little to the left side of him, but he hands it directly to his brother Ben, who gets to the corner, turns it up the field. It's a race. He's going to be brought down, but not until he gets to midfield on the play. He's knocked out of bounds. Again, one of those he had to wait for the blocks to develop. He runs patiently behind his lineman, and then once he sees the corner, he's gone.
Yeah, Ben does a great job of, once he hits the hole, he hits another gear and goes. And sometimes even before he hits that hole, he runs in between the tackles. He does a great job of just exploding through the hole. On that play, the snap it's almost a direct snap to Ben. And Josh does a great job of grabbing it, handing it to Ben for the big play.
Now here's the deal on that one. The clock did not stop. He was knocked out of bounds. And the clock was running. They did stop it here, and now here we go, man in motion from left to right. That's Holzmeister, and he'll get the carry. Gets a good block, cuts it up the middle, powers through a couple of defenders, and picks up 9 yards on the play. 2nd and 1.
Holzmeister gets a great block by Bryce Armstrong on the outside. And then he sees a couple of Hugoton defenders waiting for him out there. He's able to cut it up off Bryce's block and follow some Eagle linemen through the middle of the field and picks up a big gain.
Tanner Elias will check in the backfield. Ben Matchell will come to the sideline and stretch a little bit. The Eagles have been having to do that a lot here today. 1 receiver to the right side for Colby, 2 to the left. Holzmeister in motion. He'll get the handoff. Pretty much the same play, and this time he gets forward for not quite a yard. He's going to be just shy of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. And now what do you do if you're Colby? They've done great with the quarterback sneaks tonight. Last time they faked it and had a huge one about 30 yards down the sideline by Josh Matchell to the outside. Imagine you go back up the middle here, though, because you're going to have 2 cracks at it. 3rd and short.
They're not sniffing anybody up in A-gap this time.
Josh Matchell under center. He's watching that play clock as it's winding down. It's down to 8 seconds now. He gets the snap. Powers forward. He's got about 3 yards on the play. And a first down for Colby, and again, they keep that clock moving. Under 5 minutes to go in the game now, with Colby leading 21-6.
Quarterback keeper by Josh Matthews.
A big push from his offensive line up the middle. Great job by Casey Quigliano, Austin Hart on that one, able to split the defense for a gain of 3.
Tanner Elias comes out. Ben Matchell back into the game for Colby. First and 10 to go for the Eagles. Ball at the 42-yard line. Clock running at 4:50 to go as the Eagles head to the line of scrimmage here. 10 seconds left. Now they'll get set. 7. 5, man in motion is Ben Matchell. And they fake the handoff. And that play, something happened there. There was some miscommunication. And Josh just took it himself on that one as the timing was way off. And he loses about a half a yard on the play.
Yeah, the mesh point, Josh turns to go to the mesh point, and there's nobody coming. He just takes it and decides to get what he can get. Almost gets back to the line of scrimmage on the broken play.
Second and a long 10 for Colby. Play from the sideline is in. The Eagles will send Austin Russ wide to the right side, slot back to the right. Tight end is there as well. I formation behind Josh Matchell. Play clock at 5. Gets the snap. Handoff right side, Ben Matchell. Breaking some tackles, gets forward and picks up about 2 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 9. Clock running, 3:48 to go in the ball game.
We haven't talked about this yet tonight, but Hugoton's also a team that runs a 5-2 defense. Very similar to Colby. They bring a lot of guys down in the middle of that line. They play their safeties a lot lower than we do.
Colin Gugelman checks into the ball game and spells Brady Slinger at right tackle. Play clock at 10 seconds again. The Eagles mosey to the line of scrimmage. Double wing, pistol. Ben Matchell in motion to the right side. He gets the handoff there. Blocking's in front of him, cuts it up the field and gets it across the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. And this is going to bring up 4th and about 3 to go for Colby.
And again, a big pulling block from Bryce Armberger. Able to get out there, make a big block for Ben Matchell. And that's one thing about all these offensive linemen that Colby use. I mean, they're 5-6 deep here, and they'll pull. They can all move.
Eagles have been spelling lineman. Jay Ziegelmeyer checks back into the ballgame after a short break. 4th and short. Here's the snap. Handoff. Brady Holzmeister cuts it up the middle. He's loose. Holzmeister up the middle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Colby. Brady Holzmeister from 35 yards out, and the Eagles have just hammered a nail in the coffin of Hugoton tonight, and a chance to pick up their first win here since 2012.
Brady makes a great cut through the middle of the line of scrimmage and able to just explode through the hole and just outruns everybody to the end zone.
Big play there. It's set for the extra point opportunity. Isaac Nichols has been perfect on the day and on the season, and this one is no good. I jinxed him. He misses it wide to the left. But again, a big 31-yard touchdown run for Colby. Brady Holzmeister. He's the first non-Matchell to get into the end zone tonight for Colby. And the Eagles leading with 2:29 to go here in the 4th quarter of the ball game tonight. Great effort by Colby. Trying to stick with it here. And what a win here would do for this team.
It'd be huge for them, especially you come off last week. That was kind of just got out of hand. And that first week, though, I mean, that's a game you outplay a team for 46 or 48 minutes, and then you come out on the short end of the stick. That's just tough to swallow.
Colby leading 27-6 here. 4th touchdown of the night for the Eagles. A 71-yard run by Josh Matchell, a 2-yard run by Josh Matchell, a 1-yard run by Ben Matchell, and a 31-yard by Brady Holzmeister. Those are the touchdown scoring plays on the day today. Colby's been averaging over 200 yards rushing per game on the season headed into today, and they have upped the average today. An exceptional game on the ground. 2:29 to go in the contest with Colby up 27-6. And Ben Matchell to kick it deep this time for the Eagles. Gets the kick away, end-over-end kick that's going to bounce at the 15 and be picked up on the play at about the 7-yard line by Mitchell Hamlin, who will take it up across the 30 out to the 32 for Hugoton.
Hamlin on the return.
Hugoton will head back out onto the field here and try to get something going offensively. Dante Whitfield in on the stop. He's had a good special teams game tonight for Colby. Not seen the time he used to, maybe offensively and defensively, but a chance to earn that spot back. Earn more time. 3 receivers to the left. Parker Titus to pass, and this one caught. Holzmeister fell down on the play, and this one caught by Armendariz, who's off to the races down the sideline where he's hit. He dropped the football. It was out of bounds. They're going to spot it at the 25-yard line, 26-yard line on the play.
And Coach Sims is mad. The defensive backs coach for the Eagles. And Holzmeister didn't fall down. He just blatantly picked on the play. It's a slant route coming in, picks him. He's a down guy in the end. He's chasing the speed out, and Armendariz is able to turn it up on the pick play.
And wait for the chains to get down the field. They do. They are set. Parker Titus in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to each side, 1 back. Titus to pass, pressured, throws down the field, and it is incomplete, out of bounds. Great coverage by Austin Russ. He was step for step that time with the intended receiver in Ulysses Armendariz. So 2nd and 10 to go now for Hugoton with 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in this game.
Great coverage on the back end by the Eagles. Run a post with the outside receiver, wheel route with the inside. Weren't fooled. They see it every day in practice. And stick with their guys. Great coverage.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Pressured. Parker Titus just kind of flings it away. And that bounced. It's not caught. And it was a forward pass. It should be incomplete. One hopped to Armendariz, who made the catch.
Oh, there we go.
Incomplete. There you go. Wave that one off. Although it would have been a loss had they counted as the catch. So, nonetheless, great pressure again on the play by Colby. And really a good job that time by Parker Titus of getting it at least in the area of a receiver and not losing the yardage.
Yeah, great pressure up front, back in, great coverage. They go with that double move on that fake swing pass again.
Titus again with that little screen up the middle, caught by Baez, who evades a defender and takes it into the end zone. Touchdown Eagles. Hugoton gets it in from 26 yards out on a screen pass to Baez.
26 yards, touchdown completion.
And that's one of those things, they run that screen play to the short side of the field. Colby's defense thinking they're going to throw something over here. That screen is able to get open on that short side, and then Baez makes a good cut for a touchdown.
They'll go for 2 here as they missed that opening extra point opportunity. Looking to the left side, throw over the middle, knocked away by Ben Matchell. Slapping the football away. Actually, that's not correct. Not Ben on that one. Let's credit Alex Young knocking the ball away.
Good play by Alex Young. Hugoton goes with doubles formation. They just try running 4 slants on the inside. Titus just takes a long time to throw to the slant and gives the Colby defenders time to crash down on it, drive on the ball. He's able to knock it away.
27-12 to score. Colby leads this game. 1 minute 53 seconds to go. Hugoton does have a couple of timeouts left. Colby will get the football here. I would imagine we're going to see a
hands team.
Yeah, the hands team come out and a onside kick opportunity for the Hugoton Eagles. Things are a little different on the kicking down. Again, you only have 5 yards, but they can be away from the kicker. The kicker is the only person that can be 5 yards, more than 5 yards behind the ball. So they are in a onside kick formation. Colby's going to spread things out here. Again, you have to have at least 4 players now to the right side of the kicker, or to one side of the kicker. You have to have at least 4 on each side. And we have a whistle and penalty flags down. against Colby. I'm not sure what it is there. I think they're saying Colby had somebody across the 50-yard line.
Offside against Colby.
So on offsides, they'll move it up 5 yards. Not going to change anything. I mean, Hugoton's still going to try the onside, and that's probably a break for Hugoton because it was a horrible kick. It went about 2 yards. But it did kind of tell Colby what they were trying to do, and that was kick it to the left side. Ham's team out there again. And now they kick it deep. And out of bounds. That's a penalty. Yeah. So the penalty flag, there's another flag that has just come down on the far end of the field. So do we have some kind of extracurricular afterward? Because the flag was thrown on the near side for the out of bounds. So these are two separate infractions. And they're discussing it right now.
You hate for Colby to get some dumb 15-yard penalty on a late in a game like this. Some unsportsmanlike conduct.
And we don't know which side it's on. Sometimes you see that frustration from Hugoton, trailing in the game, and frustration. And we were offsides again. But no illegal participation for Colby. And then the kick is out of bounds. Coach Gardner trying to get an explanation here. He is upset.
What? And
now the kick was out of bounds too. You gotta put that into perspective here. They haven't done anything with that penalty. They should be offsetting penalties and re-kicking this. There we go. They've missed the kick going out of bounds penalty. The flag was thrown, and it was out of bounds without a doubt. So legal participation against Colby. And then the kick out of bounds. Your fan not happy. Well, now they're marking it off here. Now wait a second. The kick went out of bounds. This is incorrect. This should be an offsetting penalty. Are you kidding me?
Illegal participation penalty marked off 15 yards for the re-kick.
And now they're saying that happened before the kick. That'd be the only way that the out of bounds thing doesn't count on this. I don't know what's happening here. But now if Hugoton were to recover this, my goodness, the field position they'd have. The kick is going to go out of bounds. Colby will get it. And the penalty flag again comes in. Now they're going to call it the kick out of bounds penalty. I have no idea what was going on with that call. That'll be an interesting one because, again, unless that illegal, and we'll ask Coach Gardner about it. I'm sure he's had an explanation. But
well, the thing is, this comes on the heels of a blatant pick call right in front of this guy.
Nonetheless, Colby's going to get the football here. Now, here's the key. Just hang on.
Yeah.
Don't turn it over.
2 hands on it.
You're first down away from your first win since September the 21st of 2012. We'll go under center now. Handoff goes right side, and good job of pounding forward that time. Holzmeister, I believe, on the carry. Check that. That was Pieper on the carry. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards. A good run by Pieper makes it 2nd and 6. Clock running, 1:30 to go. Colby up 27-12.
Great job by Pieper hitting that hole hard still. Both hands on the ball, protecting that football. The Hugoton is going to be trying to strip at it every chance they get from here on out.
Play clock down to 10 seconds now. The Eagles to the line of scrimmage. Matchell under center. He'll stand and watch the play clock. Get the snap. Hand off first back through this time. Breaking tackles is Pieper again. What a hard run by Pieper. First down for Colby.
Great run by Pieper. Keeps his feet going. He's able to break 2 tackles, get to the second level before Hugoton drags him down.
He almost broke that. Good run on the left side. First and 10 to go for the Eagles. 1:03 to play. Clock stops while they get the ball set, which it now is. It's running again. Well, it's not. Should be running. There it goes. Matchell watching the play clock with 13 seconds to go here. Inside of a minute to go in the game. Colby leading 27-12. Josh under center. Victory formation. Takes the knee.
Josh Castro takes the knee.
Hugoton will not stop it. So we will have one more knee to be taken. And a win for the Colby Eagles tonight. We talked about this kids and the effort that they put in all week. The extra effort that they put in all week. And it pays off for them today. A well-deserved win. And Colby fans on their feet clapping. There's a 1-second delay between the game clock and the play clock. So they will have to run a play. As Matchell takes a knee. And folks, the Colby Eagles have won. 27-12. Colby gets the victory tonight over Hugoton at Denon Field in Colby. And the elation from the Colby team here as they will run out and shake hands with the Hugoton players. Congratulations to the kids. Hard-fought game and a win. We'll take a break. Come back, get things started. Farmers and Merchants Bank post-game show begins after this word from our sponsors. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby football on 100.3 The Ride.
Farmers and Merchants Bank brings you tonight's postgame show on 100.3 The Ride. Farmers and Merchants Bank has been part of the community for over 100 years. They make banking easy and convenient for you with both online and mobile banking. They have the main bank downtown and, of course, the Dillon's location that is open extended days and hours to better serve you. We'll run through the highlights and recap the game after this. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
Hello, this is J.L. Evans, President of Western State Bank of Colby. We're a full-service bank with innovative products that you expect from your financial institution. We specialize in excellent customer service and competitive ag, commercial, and home loans. Check us out by calling, stopping by, or I will gladly come to your farm or place of business for your convenience. We're located just southeast of the Colby Walmart, right next door to the utterly delicious yogurt shop. Western State Bank of Colby with bank locations throughout western Kansas. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Colby Free Press brings residents of Thomas County news, pictures, and commentary on the happenings, issues, and events that impact the lives of residents of Thomas County. The Colby Free Press is informative and affordable. The Colby Free Press is a local daily newspaper that has earned a great reputation for journalistic excellence and extensive knowledge of the local communities of Colby, Rexford, Brewster, and surrounding communities.
The High Plains Co-op has always prided itself on their customer service. With the fall harvest upon us, the staff at High Plains Co-op is ready to help you store and market your grain. With elevators in Dresden, Gym, Grainfield, Halford, Hoxie, Levant, Park, and Selden, and their office and filling station in Colby, the High Plains Co-op has a location close to you, which will help keep you in the fields and the combines moving. The High Plains Co-op wishes you a safe and prosperous fall harvest, and they want you to know that their professional staff is ready to help you get the most out of all of your hard work.
Kansas City Chiefs football is on 100.3 The Ride. Catch all the action each week with Mitch Holtis and Hall of Famer Len Dawson. For the second consecutive Sunday, Kansas City is on the road, this time in Miami against the Dolphins. Kickoff at 3:30 Central. Chiefs football is brought to you by H&R Block, The Great Outdoors Gun Shop, Jack's Automotive and 24-hour towing, Pioneer Feed Yard and Hoxie Feed Yard, the Buckhorn Restaurant at Mitten's TA, Larry and Dinah Dinkel of Mitten Trucking, Logan County Implement, Fitz Meat Market, the Model Gallery, and Farm Credit of Western Kansas.
Welcome back to the Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show on 100.3 The Ride. With the game recap and highlights, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Wheeland.
Welcome back. Zeros on the clock for time. The Colby Eagles win it 27-12 tonight. Welcome to the Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show here on 100.3 The Ride. And again, a big night for the Colby Eagles, picking up their first victory since September 21st, 2012, when they beat Hugoton here that night by a score of 21-0. But tonight again, into 16-game losing streak with the victory over the Hugoton Eagles. And Thomas, really, you look at this ball game tonight. You had the one turnover in the opening quarter of play. Had a few holding penalties, 4 of them in the contest that hurt them. But outside of that, the defensive effort was phenomenal by the Eagles tonight, and that was really what got things done.
Yeah, defense was great up front in the secondary. The linebackers made plays all over the place. I mean, just a great game plan and a well-executed game plan. I mean, these kids played their tails off tonight.
They did, played hard, and they get to come out of here and talk about a victory. We can't wait to talk to Coach Chris Gardner of the Colby Eagles. He'll be joining us here in just a moment as he gets some hugs as he heads off the field and the players talking to their folks. Let's run down scoring in the ball game. Colby had the only points in the first half. It started with 9:29 to go in the opening quarter, second quarter. And it was a 71-yard touchdown run by Josh Matchell on an option play. The extra point was good, 7-0 Colby. Then with 39 seconds to go in the second half, after another good defensive stop by Colby, they get the ball back, and with a minute 53 to go, they're able to take it down a minute 38 to go. They're able to take it 29 yards, punch it into the end zone, capped off on a 2-yard touchdown run by Josh Matchell. Extra point good, 14-0 was the score at that point in time. Go to the second half. Hugoton strikes first, 6:59 to go in the third on a 41-yard touchdown pass from Titus to Watkins. They missed the extra point opportunity. 14-6 was the score. It was actually blocked by the Colby Eagles. Colby then answers back in the third quarter with 2:20 to go on a 1-yard touchdown run by Ben Matchell. Extra point on that one was good, 21-6 the score. Colby then strikes again with 2:29 to go in the fourth quarter on a 31-yard touchdown run by Brady Holzmeister. Extra point was no good, 27-6 the score at that point. And then Hugoton gets the last score of the game with a minute 53 to go with a 26-yard touchdown pass on a screen from Titus to Baeza, who takes it into the end zone. The two-point conversion attempt was stuffed by Colby, 27-12, the final score of the ball game tonight when it's all said and done. And Thomas, a big win, obviously, for the Eagles, just to get a win and get that positivity going again and all that hard work paying off. I'm curious to see where they build from this now. Having some confidence to play with, something they haven't done in a while.
Yeah, some confidence. And last year, we had 2 games that we, very well should have won. They just, young cats didn't know how to win, and hopefully, this will make those close games turn into wins for us from now on. And these guys just played great. They've had, Gardner said they've worked real hard, summer this far, fall camp this far into the season, and they're finally rewarded for it, and they should feel great about that.
27-12, the final score of the game tonight here. The Eagles get the win. Looked like Scott City taking care of business tonight in Goodland over the Cowboys. I've not heard an updated score yet on the other GWAC game tonight, which had Ulysses and Holcomb going head-to-head. Last I heard, I think Ulysses was on top on that one. But we'll get an update on that here in a minute. But again, a great night tonight for Colby. Fans were great. It was nice to see the stands fill back up a little bit here. Hopefully we can build off that when we come back home here in a couple of weeks and get even a bigger crowd. Next week, Colby is on the road. A reminder there, you'll be down in Ulysses taking on the Tigers. We'll have coverage of that here on 100.3 The Ride, and, of course, video streaming on nwksradio.com. Thanks to Farmers and Merchants Bank and the good folks at Strutt Insurance Services for making that possible next week at Ulysses. And then Colby will come home to take on Holcomb on October the 3rd. Go to Norton on the 10th, Concordia and Clay Center in Goodland to wrap up the schedule on the season. But a big win for Colby. First one again going since September the 21st of 2012. They get the 16-game losing streak behind them. Now they can build from there and continue on from that. And you really just have to be happy with the kids, proud of their effort, I think, in this past week. And we talked about it. Here's a group of kids that Tuesday night practices, and you've been on the coaching staff here. Mondays are video, a little bit of conditioning, a little bit of work there, but not your heavy practice. Your hard practice is on Tuesday when you really go after it. Colby has that nice, hard, long practice on Tuesday, and then you got the seniors coming in, Josh Matchell and some of the other seniors say, hey, Coach, I know our practice is over, your practice is, but we want to work on some more stuff. We don't feel like we're done yet. So the coaches, of course, went over. They left the field, didn't leave the area. You got to watch, make sure nobody gets hurt and nothing stupid happens. But the kids go out and they practice for another 30 to 45 minutes afterward, just an extra effort. That was on Tuesday night after their hardest practice of the week because they want to win. And this is a group of kids that's trying to win and trying to get over that hump, and they're putting that kind of effort in. They also had 2 players-only meetings this week. And it was not bad. They weren't yelling at each other. It was goal setting. And they talked about their goals on Thursday night. And this is, the coaches are always pushing positivity. They're always trying to get the kids over the hump, but the kids got to buy in, and they've bought. They bought in this year, and hopefully they can build off of this. It's an extremely tough schedule. Nothing's easy from here on out, but that first win's going to go a long way, I think. I can't wait to talk to Coach. We'll do that here in just a couple of minutes on the postgame show. Reminder, next week we will have the streaming going as well at nwksradio.com. Big thank you to Desiree Sanguinetti tonight. Camera woman extraordinaire running things. We appreciate her hard work up there, making sure you can see all the action online at nwksradio.com. The game, by the way, will be on there to see if you want to check it out later this week. You can pull it up anytime at nwksradio.com as they're all archived there. We'll take a break. Come back, talk to the head coach, Chris Gardner, when we return. You're listening to the Eagles on Radio and Colby Football on 100.3 The Ride.
Coach Chris Gardner will join us with his thoughts on tonight's game when the Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show continues. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
This time of the year can get a little stressful on your finances. If you're in the need for any type of loan, come in and talk to their local grown loan officers at the People's State Bank. They live in this area, so they know this area. They pride themselves on getting you the fastest response possible. Since most of them have been in business or have come off the farm, they really do know the local ag economy. They want to take this time and thank you for your patronage at the People's State Bank with locations in Colby, Oakley, Hoxie, Goodland, and McDonald. The People's State Bank, member FDIC.
There's nothing like getting your new cell phone, playing with the new features, being amazed at the advancements, until an even newer one comes out. Who wants to wait 2 years to upgrade their phone? Now you don't have to. With the Next Tech Wireless Buyback Program, we'll buy back your cell phone no matter what provider it came from and give you credit, up to $300. It's the Next Tech Wireless Buyback Program. Another great reason you'll love Next Tech Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
With a successful season under his belt, quarterback Jake Waters returns as the main man in the backfield.
Jake will quarterback sneak into the goal line. Touchdown, Kansas State.
Behind legendary head coach Bill Snyder, the Cats look to tear up the Big 12. Catch all of the action right here on the K-State Sports Network.
Wildcat Football on 100.3 The Ride is brought to you in part by Mittens TA, Sprinkler Supply, Edward Jones, Chris Yost, Next Tech Wireless, and Wilson Trailer Sales.
This is the Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show on 100.3 The Ride. With the coach, here's Chad Jones.
Welcome back, joined by the head coach of the Colby Eagles, Chris Gardner. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
It has been,
but we got stuck that way.
You know, this has been fun, and because this week, you know, we talked about it in the pregame. We talked about the kids with their players-only meetings, and using those to set goals.
Right.
And we talked about wanting to go extra long and practice on Tuesday night, which is your hardest practice of the week anyway.
Exactly.
And they get rewarded for it with the effort. Right. How cool is that for this group of kids that's worked so hard?
That's the best part, and I'm going to just tell you exactly what I told the kids down there. Tonight had nothing to do with. The only thing it had to do with was what you guys started this week. What you guys came down, what you guys decided to do with the covenants, the pride, the extra work, that kind of stuff, it flat out comes down to you guys. I said, I can't really stand up here and say anything but thank you. You guys, And you guys have to understand that's what we need. You've got to continue to build on what you're doing. But it's a good start tonight, and you can see that there's rewards and dividends to have, and now we got to build from this.
Let's talk about the game itself tonight. Your defensive line, wow.
Yeah,
they were phenomenal.
I thought they played really well tonight. I thought they controlled the line of scrimmage. You know, I mean, Hugoton really couldn't run the ball in between the tackles much at all. I thought they did a nice job when they went back to pass. They caught us on a couple screens, but the couple times we read it, you know. But, yeah, I thought the D-line really had a nice night tonight.
And the offensive line did a great job, too. But, you know, in your backs, I mean, they just ran hard. It was a good team effort all the way around.
It really was. And, you know, we got some guys that are just running real hard. But again, it's those things they're doing after practice. It's those things that they're playing for the guy next to them. We haven't had that in here for a while. And that's not a knock on any of the guys who are going through the program. It just was evident to see tonight, and we hadn't seen it in a long time. But, you know, this is a win for last year's team. This is a win for, you know, this is just a good win for this program that needed to happen.
Yeah, definitely. And now I can't wait to see, like, because we talk about all the effort and the extra effort that they put in this week and how it paid off for them, and how they build from that with some have all the, what do I say, confidence now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, you know, in the knowledge of if we do work this hard and we do put in the extra effort, it does pay off.
That's right. I mean, and that's right, and that's the thing. You know, you add a little confidence into that, and that's very, you know, you can see that it'll make leaps and bounds. You know, we're going to go. I already heard them talk about let's start on Ulysses Monday. I mean, they're focused. You know, when I first got here, there was you know the guy Thomas Whelan. Yeah, and he coached for us too a little bit, and there was a kid and he and Heath Stevens. And they had what was a 6:30 in the morning club, and they would come in the summers and throw routes and pass and that kind of stuff in the 6:30 morning club. And when they graduated, we just never could get that club going. Well, now you've got a group of guys that are coming back to doing some stuff like that, extra work and things like that. And I think Thomas will tell you it builds confidence in you. It gives you when you get out there and strap it on, you feel you got an edge. And that's what we've got to keep building on.
Well, Coach, congratulations, big win. Back on the road next week, you're going to get a tough one against the Ulysses team that's playing well.
That's right, and that's the deal. I mean, that's the thing. This is great tonight. We're going to enjoy it. The kids are going to enjoy it, and then Monday we're going to get after it and really concentrate on Ulysses. And I'm just real happy for these kids. Like I said, it's all them. These kids, they took on some things this week, and it really paid off for them, and I just couldn't be prouder and happier for them.
Appreciate it. A lot of fun, Coach.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Coach Chris Gardner of the Colby Eagles. We'll take a break. Back with more of the postgame show in just a minute.
When the Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show returns, we will name the Ram Tough Player of the Game and get you set up for next week. You're listening to the Colby Eagles on 100.3 The Ride.
This time of the year can get a little stressful on your finances. If you're in the need for any type of loan, come in and talk to their local grown loan officers at the People's State Bank. They live in this area, so they know this area. They pride themselves on getting you the fastest response possible. Since most of them have been in business or have come off the farm, they really do know the local ag economy. They want to take this time and thank you for your patronage at the People's State Bank with locations in Colby, Oakley, Hoxie, Goodland, and McDonald. The People's State Bank, member FDIC. Let Jay add pride to your ride at Motortown LLC of Colby. Always a fine selection of late model vehicles on the lot, including pickups, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, long box, short box, regular cabs, crew cabs, and many makes and models. You'll find sports cars, convertibles, luxury cars, vans, and of course the popular SUVs. Truly a great inventory to choose from, and as always they're willing to pay you well for your trade. That Motortown LLC located at 1275 West 4th Street in Colby or Ellis, Kansas. Go online to motortownllc.com.
I say you should see what they have by GE just for thee at GWT. Yes, name brand GE appliances on the showroom floor right now at Great Western Tire, Colby. Washer and dryer sets by GE. Refrigerators, ranges, microwaves, and GE dishwashers. Of course, they have installation and delivery available at Great Western Tire of Colby and Great Western Tire of Oakley, your GE appliance dealer.
This is the Farmers and Merchants Bank postgame show and the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride. It's time to name the Ram Tough Player of the Game. Brought to you by Colby Dodge, where they have a great selection of those Ram Tough trucks on the lot, plus a bunch of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Colby Dodge also has great sales, parts, and service departments. With the Ram Tough Player of the Game, here's Chad Jones and Thomas Whelan.
Welcome back. Time for a Ram Tough Player of the Game tonight for the Colby Eagles. And Thomas, we talked about in the at halftime, we gave it to the defensive line for the great effort that they put in the first half of the game, and they did throughout the whole game today. They got our first half player. Second half in the game tonight, I'm going to go with Josh Matchell. I think he had just a phenomenal effort. I mean, you look at it, he had the touchdown runs, obviously, and got the scoring going for Colby, but he just managed the game very, very well. Also for what he and the other seniors did in practice this week and that extra effort that they put in there, I've got to go with Josh Matchell as our Ram Tough Player of the game tonight.
No, absolutely. Josh played his tail off tonight, offensively, defensively, especially you consider the fact that, there for a while, third and fourth quarter, he's walking around in between plays, looking over at the sideline at Coach Sims and everybody signaling in plays. He's walking around with his legs stiff because he's cramping up. Defense, they get him a couple blows, they come over, they stretch him out, and then he goes back in. But then, comes crunch time, he's got to go play defense and get down when that's a passing situation. And he comes in, steps up big, plays great coverage defensively, and just took care of the ball and made some big plays offensively.
Yep. Ram Tough Player of the game tonight, Josh Matchell for the Colby Eagles. All right, a couple of notes to pass along. The Eagles will be back in action next Friday. We will have coverage. They travel to take on the Ulysses Tigers, a game in Ulysses next week. We'll have coverage with the Strut Insurance Services pregame show starting at about 6 o'clock with kickoff scheduled at 7. We'll also have the streaming going as well at nwksradio.com. Thanks to Farmers and Merchants Bank and Strut Insurance Services for making the streaming possible this year as well. So you can watch the game with our radio coverage along with it next Friday night from Ulysses, Kansas, as the Eagles look for their second win of the season as they take on the Tigers. Tom, it's been fun tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Great game by the Eagles. Big thank you to Matt Barnum back at the radio station tonight, making sure we're on the air and things are run. We appreciate his effort. And, of course, Des Sanguinetti running the camera for us tonight as well. For Thomas Whelan, Matt Barnum, Des Sanguinetti, I'm Chad Jones. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next Friday night at 6 o'clock for more of the Eagles on radio on 100.3 The Ride.
Thanks for listening to the Eagles on Radio on 100.3 The Ride. The Eagles on Radio are brought to you